Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to Brewed Up Basketball. This is episode what, 5 now? 5?
5.
Let's
Yeah, I can't
say
believe you don't even
5.
know that
We'll go 5. So it's
it's
episode
5.
5. We're gonna be doing an all-time episode. We have Josh back at it as our special guest again. And now we're gonna do some current topics just to get over with the NBA real quick. Even though it's been a very dull week, I'd say. Other than Joel Embiid's performance, what matchup has stood out to you guys the most, if you have any at the top of your head?
Yeah, for
Matchup.
me, KD versus his
No.
teammates.
KD versus who?
His teammates.
Yeah. That
So-
was great. That was great. That you brought it up. It's
Do you
kind of
think
wild,
that-
bro. What did Edmond Summers do to him, bro?
Edmond.
I don't know. I don't know what they could do with KD. Like, how disrespectful can one man get? It was unbelievable.
Well, in his defense, I don't disagree with him. Like, look at his lineup. Does that look like a championship level lineup?
I think Claxton is good.
I don't disagree with him either, but
You don't just say that, dude. Bro, that's like
I don't-
me. Imagine
I
we're
don't
all
disagree with him
playing
either.
2K.
But he had Harden and Kyrie. Like, what more do you want?
If I play 2K, I'm 100% blaming the fucking people I have, bro.
Yeah, bro. The only reason why I lost. Look at the people I'm playing with, bro. Mine 3 is
Yeah.
terrible. Like, that is insane. Do you think it's insane that he said that, or like, do you think that?
I do think
It's
it's insane
justifiable.
that he said that. It's not.
Oh, I think-
well, it's justifiable, bro. But you don't go out in the media and say, "Yeah, my teammates are fucking garbage. Like, get them out of here."
I seen
That's
the tweet
wild.
where it was
Not
like,
even LeBron did that in the 2018 finals. He didn't even do that.
well, whose roster is better? Like right now,
LeBron's roster was awful. Like, I rather
it was bad. This roster is bad too. But if you were,
I rather
if
Claxton and like Tristan Thompson, bro.
Tristan,
Tristan
Mike
Thompson
Thompson's
was
jump
so
shots?
bad. Yeah.
Tristan Thompson. Tristan
This is
Thompson's a goat.
wild.
No, but there was a tweet where it's saying that like, oh, Curry is going through a hard time with his team, but he didn't say anything, and KD is going through a hard time with his team, and he's saying stuff. Do you think that it's just a different level of being a team leader, or do you think it's just that totally completely different situations?
It's a different
anyone would
situation,
pop.
bro. This was a
Different situation.
championship level.
Yeah.
This is a championship level team roster, and they're playing awful. Right?
Yeah.
They just won the championship. They're playing awful. KD literally has scrubs on his team.
All right,
Legit
scrubs the stretch. I don't want to hear this. Like, this is so much excuses. Like, all right,
What's
If
his
people that, like-
Cam Thomas, bro? Like he is.
Cam
so,
Thomas is good. He's a hooper.
He's so
Don't
butt.
say he's
He's so
not
butt.
butt.
He's all
The
right.
game
He's
I
all
the
right.
game I
Hooper.
played when I was watching the last week with the
he's a
Clippers,
hooper.
bro. He played so bad.
So one
He
game
played
is his
so
whole
bad.
career.
He played so bad. Huh?
Stephen A. Smith went on live saying that he is a hateful Knicks fan because of Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas made him angry. So you cannot say that Cam Thomas is a bum. You can't say Seth Curry is a bum. You can say Joe Harris is a bum right now. Ben Simmons is
I
clearly
like
a bum
Seth
right
Curry.
now.
I think you can say Cam Thomas is a bum before you can say Joe Harris is a bum.
Joe Harris is not even doing the one thing that he does the best. Shoot efficiently.
Joe Harris has at least done something in his career.
Cam Thomas has been doing good. Last season, he had a couple of games where he had 20 points. Sprinkled them here and there. He had a good stretch. And even now, I'm pretty sure he's averaging like, what, 12 maybe? When he gets minutes. He doesn't play bad when he gets minutes.
Well, I mean, Kyrie doesn't play. Their team is just
So when
bad.
he gets when his number is called, he's insane. He isn't complaining or anything. Even though he did put free me on his Instagram bio. I don't know if you guys saw that.
He averages 10 points.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
not
not
bad.
see that.
He in his bio it was like free me the first week of the season, which was kind of insane. Ain't no
What
one
a-
free on you, bro. No one
Free
wants
KD,
you.
bro.
No, KD.
No,
You
Keep
know
him
what?
locked
Actually,
up.
never mind, bro.
Keep him
KD
locked
has
up.
every right. KD has every right to
No,
complain if he was doing that.
KD can't complain if he's the one that orchestrated like half the moves to start with. Like, you wanted Harden, you got Harden. You gave up Jared Allen, you gave up Karis LeVert. Who else did they give up in that trade? Was it just them?
it was just
Jared
them.
Allen, Karis LeVert, Harden,
It's probably some other guys, but it
Dinwiddie,
was just them.
Dinwiddie.
Picks. Oh,
Dinwiddie.
was Dinwiddie in that deal?
No,
No, I
Dinwiddie
didn't
left
see-
in
no.
free
No,
agency.
no, but
Yeah.
oh, he left free agency. Okay, never mind. Then.
So you give up those guys where they could use him now, but I don't think it would ever been better than Harden. You take the Harden trade 10 out of 10 times, but that's your guy. He leaves. You can't complain now. Kyrie is still your guy, and he can't play, so you're complaining about that.
he's
You
gonna play
wanted all
someday.
these pieces. Ben Simmons, like I don't blame him for Ben Simmons. What's going on with him? Because apparently he's injured again. Is what people are saying. So I don't know if that's true or
He's
false.
not on the injury roster, on the injury reports.
He's saying he's playing through injury though. That's the whole point.
Oh,
like he's saying that his knee is swollen, his back still hurts. So I don't know if that's true or not because there have been like so many reports lately saying, he's questionable, his mentality about basketball, which I think is kind of crazy because I don't know how you're supposed to question an NBA's players like mentality about basketball.
I think you question his mentality a lot.
I've seen this one report where it says that it was like a what was it? Like a coach report for him in high school. It was like, you have to question this player's like motivation to like actually play for a team around him. He's like very selfish player. And it's kind of like adding up for when like the last 2 years, like the way he's been acting, like he thinks he hasn't
been selfish though. I mean, he's too passive.
And he's 76ers, he didn't play. He didn't play.
He didn't play the whole season.
He didn't play because it was disrespectful what happened.
He sat out a whole
disrespect to someone. If your coach and your teammate were like, "Yeah, it's your fault, we lost." No accountability.
Cam Thomas's.
Huh?
Yeah, Cam Thomas's. Yeah, Edmund
Joe
Summers.
Harris's. Edmund Summers.
But if you were that good of a player, you were a number 2 option on a championship team, and then your teammate just automatically goes, "Oh yeah, it's your fault, we lost." No accountability from himself. That's the first thing he says. No accountability from the coach, which that coach has been awful. We all know he's a bad coach. And they immediately blame you. And everyone in Philadelphia is blaming you. You want to play for that team?
Hold on real quick.
And you had an injury too. You want to play with that team?
Embiid said this after he sat out the whole season, though. Like he was like saying we're not.
He said it right after the playoff.
Yeah, right after the game, he said it was him. He was like,
okay, never mind. But I do know that he said I did know that he said they did play a lot better without him in the season too. He did say that as well.
He had an injury though. That was a real injury. We can't say it's not like a real injury. Bro just left us. No, but
I know.
Switching chairs right now.
Yeah, we can't see all the behind the scenes work that he's doing.
No, but that injury he had was 100% like not. 2 people are now going through technical difficulties. This is insane. All right.
I'm here.
That injury, do you not believe it? Neither of you believe it? You're muted, Josh.
I didn't say I didn't believe it. I know he does have knee problems, but I feel like he's still questioning like himself as a player. That's what happening right now. Because this guy used to like slash, dunk, take all the layups he wanted, but now he just second guessing his layups and he just passes the ball. Like I understand, like you need to get your team involved in plays, but if you think you are that guy, you think you're that guy who could like lead a team to the playoffs, you should be able to like score willingly, not just like second guess it, pass the ball, turn it over, whatever. I feel like, and his defense is like, he did play good defense in the beginning, but like it's kind of like lackluster right now. Like, I think with the whole Nets in general, the team chem is just really bad.
Yeah, I think that starts with KD. Like,
100%. He's the leader. He needs to like step it up.
It's a whole organizational problem. What they allowed Kyrie to do and all that stuff. I think that kind of just shows you where that, especially how they've treated their players. Like they kind of got rid of everyone from that team that made that great run a couple years ago with D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I think D'Angelo Russell is a better leader than KD, honestly.
That is crazy. But D'Angelo Russell has not been playing good at all lately. No. Do you think it's just he's a bad player now, or do you think it's just like that team is just
taking it?
It's a bad fit.
Okay. Why?
I also do. I also agree too, but like I think it's also like he's aging. Injuries is also taking over him.
How old do you think he is?
Aging. He's probably 26, 27.
Yeah. But like
he's
injuries
aging.
is also not been the best it hasn't been best to him either. He's also
26.
taking a step down. He's taking a step down. He's taking a step down, right? He's not the second, the first, the third, not even the third option. He's the fourth option on the team.
No, he's the third option.
No.
Who's the third option?
Rudy Gobert.
That's crazy talk.
No, he's not.
Rudy Gobert is the third option.
No.
He's the third star of that team. He's the third star of that team.
You know there was a
So it goes
stat
Edwards,
saying-
Cat, and then Gobert.
He's the 4th star, but on offense, he's the 3rd option.
Who, Angelo? Yeah,
Yeah.
Angelo is the 3rd
Oh,
option on
okay.
offense. I'm not saying I'm not saying Gobert is the 3rd option for offense, but like when it comes to stardom, like Anthony Edwards, Cat, and Gobert are gonna take
We're
over
talking
him.
about offense, so
I know, but he's
D'Angelo
taking
Russell's
less of a
the
role.
third
He's gonna
prime.
get less minutes. So even like if he is like the 3rd option, he gets less minutes than everyone else.
No, he starts.
He's also, yeah, I know, but he doesn't get like 30 minutes a game.
Yes, he does. Check his numbers right now. He gets 30 minutes a game.
All right.
Pretty sure it's like 30.8.
He gets exactly 30 minutes a game. Look at it right now,
Oh.
30.2.
Oh, exactly. Okay, my bad.
Wow.
Exactly 30 minutes a game.
Yeah.
But then if
Things
we
are
look at
bad.
everyone else's minutes, we look at everyone
Headshot.
else's minutes, we look at everyone else's
Man
minutes.
doesn't know.
They're gonna get
Do you
more
think-
minutes.
Do you think they can even get a good trade for him?
I feel like
For
you should.
D'Lo? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. I think if you're, I'm trying to think what team could take him.
Oh, technical
I don't
difficulties.
think any team can really take him. Contract-wise, it doesn't work out.
The Lakers.
Contract wise, it'll work out. I mean,
Lakers-
honestly, the Lakers wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
They need.
I don't know why Minnesota would do that, but
Yeah, what would Minnesota
trade him
get?
for Pat Bev.
You know, get him.
No,
get him
they
none.
would not do that. Oh, actually,
Give him none.
honestly, wait a
I'm
minute. I
joking. I'm joking.
no, come on.
It's not the worst.
Come on.
I would give up.
The
I would give up
Timberwolves would
two-
never do that. But
I would give up 2 tacos from Taco Bell to get Pat Bev. They
That is
probably
an
would take that.
insane-
They would probably
that's saying a
take
lot from Ramesey.
I'm not gonna lie.
2 tacos equals 2 first-round picks.
that. It really does.
We gotta stop the Patrick Beverly hate from you. If he ever goes to the Knicks, I never want to hear you root for him in my life.
I will
If
never,
you
bro.
root for him-
I would be like the #1 advocate to trade his bitch ass.
He's good. I don't know why you don't like him.
No, I did see a I seen his podcast where he was like defending Kyrie Irving too, when it comes to like his credibility, because like Dave
always on defense.
Dave Portnoy,
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah.
who does Barstool, who owns him, he was like talking like shit about Kyrie. He was like, "Oh, Kyrie hates all Jewish people." Man,
Crazy.
everyone it was roasting him in the comments. He was like, "Kyrie never said Kyrie don't hate nobody." It was like really
Sure.
bad. But
Kyrie hates you. That's all I'm saying.
Pat
But
Kyrie
Bev,
hates Cam
then
Thomas.
Pat Bev
Oh.
then goes.
did you see? Go ahead.
He then goes, "Yeah, Kyrie's the most skillful point guard I've ever seen play."
Kyrie's the most skillful point guard you've ever seen play.
Pat Bev said this.
You must not have seen a lot of basketball players play basketball. I don't know. That's
Well, he's probably talking about
Skillful
his
is
generation.
crazy.
He's talking
Well,
about in his generation, like when he's played.
Curry's
I
more
guess.
skillful than him.
LeBron's played point
There's no
guard.
doubt.
So
There's no doubt he's more skillful than
saying.
Pat Bev. I think a
Now-
lot of point guards are more skillful than Pat Bev.
No,
he's
I'm
saying
saying
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Wait,
Are you
what?
okay?
What are you
Are you
talking
You're saying
good?
about?
Kyrie's more skillful than Pat Bev. Is that what you said?
No.
No,
he's saying
no
that
one said
Curry-
that. I mean, everyone
Curry-
agrees, but
Curry. Oh, Curry. Oh, okay.
Curry is more.
Oh
I
my
it sounded like
goodness.
Kyrie. It sounded like Kyrie to me.
Curry is more skillful than Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's what Josh said. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't. It sounded like
Okay.
Kyrie. It sounded like Kyrie. That's what
Again,
trying to get at.
I want to touch one more thing about this KD thing. Did you see what he said about Cam Thomas though?
What do you say about
It's
Cam?
Yeah,
actually
that's-
perfect. He said that it's my legacy.
his legacy is dependent on Cam Thomas.
on how good he becomes. That has to be a fake quote, right? Or is that actually a real quote?
That was a real quote. That was a real
Nah,
quote.
I've been seeing a lot of fake quotes, bro.
I read it,
I
I
see
was
like a
like,
quote like
God.
Edmund Summers said, like, "Katie, you need to get the fuck off my dick."
Bro, he was tough in 2K17. Not 2K20. He was tough. Edmund
Yeah.
Summers, bro.
He's
Honestly,
not
though, like
talking about-
honestly, Armand, I'm sure you can relate to him. Like your legacy in this podcast is very much dependent on Ramesey Vega. It's a
It
tough
really
situation.
I do a lot of work for this podcast.
I know
What do you
it.
do?
Edmund Summer
What
does
do
a
you
lot of
do?
work for the Nets, just not that the work isn't that good.
I'm the one who posts the
Exactly.
videos.
Okay, I'm the
I'm
one who makes the
joking. I'm
thumbnails.
joking.
Josh is the Kyrie of the podcast.
Yep.
Anyway,
he
here
doesn't
half
have
the
to
time.
much.
Speaking about, terrible franchises in the NBA right now, the Clippers have been terrible. So What do you guys think about it?
You were like, oh, they're gonna take a
They're
step
gonna
up.
pick it up. They are. They
You
did.
said this last
have.
week. They're
They
gonna
have.
win all their games next week. I told
They
you
have to
it was
step
a
up.
fluke. Like if they go against people who are actually good, I mean, granted,
Are the Mavericks
Nets.
good?
Yeah.
What do you rate them 1 through 10?
They're
Are they good?
okay.
Are they
I give
contenders,
them like
right?
a 7,
in the playoffs.
7, 8, without Luka like a 2.
Okay, so the Clippers without their best player
Kawhi
almost
Leonard,
beat
who is also very
the
iffy,
Mavs.
who's
And
also
I'm not gonna lie,
who
that
also hasn't
Mavs
played
game was
for 2
actually really good.
years. He hasn't played for 2
Still a
years,
superstar.
and he's also aging. He's aging. He's like 34.
He's
All right.
he's
Get off his
not a
dick.
superstar, in my opinion.
is.
As a wise man once said, every year starts off with 0 superstars.
What kind of James Wiseman? Like, oh wait, I said James Wiseman. What kind of Wiseman?
Okay.
Someone with president hair. No,
Real talk, though. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I think Kawhi is done being a superstar, in my opinion.
Why though? Just because he doesn't play?
Why? What has he done? What has he done?
He's won 2 rings.
Fraudulent
That'd be
rings
3.
of that.
You can't say they're fraudulent. One, at least, you can't say either one's
The
fraudulent.
Raptors one is fraudulent.
Why?
Why? Because the team lost their best and third best player that he played
Klay
against.
Thompson still played throughout that whole. He played most of the series. He played 6 games in that series.
Yes, he
Like
left.
6 full 30-minute games, and he left towards the end with an injury.
Oh, so they still lost their best player.
But he still played like throughout all those games. And that Raptors roster was not close to that KD Warriors roster. We agree on that, right? Like, just the Raptors just stepped it up. Those players weren't looked at going into that series like, man.
But they are
have
looked
a
at.
chance.
They are looked at now. Like Fred VanVleet's an all-star.
Now,
Pascal
like
Siakam is an
fucking
all-star.
3 or 4 years ago, they weren't that 4 years ago or 3 years
Kyle
ago.
Lowry, all-star.
They all right. Kyle
Oh
Lowry.
wow, Kyle right now,
It-
All Star is crazy.
No, back then he was an all-star.
That everyone was hating on Kyle Lowry, saying he was a choker.
Then he didn't.
Everyone gave him so much shit, saying he was terrible in the playoffs. But he
I
stepped
mean,
it
they
up
still
too.
had Curry and Draymond.
Yeah, they can't get it done.
Hey, Curry was
And they
that
had
much
Klay-
of a
Klay for
generational
6
player.
games,
They
too.
should have won.
I'm just saying, bro. You can say it's not
You
an
can't say
asterisk on Curry's
fraudulent
career.
because you could also say LeBron's ring was fraudulent as well. Like
Which one?
the Mickey Mouse ring,
How is that fraudulent?
because
this
they
is a
won.
hot
They
take.
won. They won in a okay, but like I'm saying, they won in a bubble. They won in a bubble, right, where everyone was also at a disadvantage because they felt like in a very uncomfortable situation. They also had to like
How is
everyone.
it a
Everyone.
disadvantage? How is it a disadvantage if everyone has the same circumstances?
You're absolutely
be
right. You're
It
absolutely
might
right.
be a hot take. I was gonna say I think it's a hard.
I'm not
championship
saying. I'm not
ever.
saying it
I
is
think it
fraudulent ring. I'm not saying it's a fraudulent ring, right?
It's
I'm
not a
saying, like-
fraudulent ring, but it I don't respect the ring as.
I don't know why. I think it has to be one of the hardest ones ever. For me,
other
it's
than
probably
the
the hardest one.
ones.
But why wouldn't it be? Everyone's locked in, and all they have to do is all they're doing is playing
Oh,
basketball.
I think
Mickey
the
Mouse ring?
Raptors
that's
did have
that's
an
a
easier
very
team
good-
to go
very ring. I'm
against.
saying the Raptors ring.
The
No, it
Raptors
was-
did have an easier team to go against because KD and Clay were both out.
But
But
Clay paid for 6 games. You can't say like, oh, Clay was out. Like he missed.
okay, but
some
they
good
missed
moments
they missed a game
but
where
he
it
still
mattered
played.
though.
most of the games. He played.
They
most
missed
of
the
the
game when it mattered.
Okay, but they had such a better team than the Raptors that it should not have went that far. They should have beaten them without KD. They were still that good. People just don't remember that how good that team was. The whole KD drama was just unfortunate, but and the reason why he got hurt was more on the Warriors staff, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, because they allowed him to play even though he was not healthy.
Yeah, that was awful. But back to the Clippers, when we just transition back real quick. You guys don't think they have a chance of winning at all? You think it's over for them?
No. No, I think they're
Really?
done.
Off 3 weeks, they're done.
Yeah.
I think they look pretty decent. I think there's a lot of rust on some players, though. I think Norman Powell is just such a rusty player.
How's
Like,
he rusty? He's been playing the whole time.
He's rusty because of the fact that he went from last season from hitting open shots, like wide open threes he'd hit consistently. Now he's not hitting them at all.
I don't know if that's rust.
It is rust. To start the season, it's rust.
That's just
I think-
playing bad.
Okay, so he's playing bad then. Semantics. You're
No.
literally just playing politics with words. He's
He
playing
also had a
bad.
better team around him last season, where there wasn't that many
What?
scores.
He can
Last
start.
season?
How is this any different from last season? He was on the team last season.
Yeah, for half the year.
He still played well half the year.
I know. I mean, maybe he's not more ball dominant anymore because Paul George was also out half the season last year.
He wasn't ball dominant
I don't know
though.
if he's ever been ball dominant. He's more of a spot up
hasn't.
shooter.
Paul George? Nah, he's pretty ball dominant.
No,
Norman Powell. Dweeb.
Oh yeah, I know. Norman Powell's. I'm saying Paul George is more ball dominant now, so he gets the ball more. He's gonna score
What?
more. He's gonna. I'm
Dog,
saying like, who are
we're
you gonna
saying
pass
that-
it first? Who are you gonna pass it to first? Norman Powell or Paul George?
Norman Powell doesn't start half the time. He comes off the bench. He's just playing bad. That's what I'm saying. He's just rusty. Like he is genuinely
Oh.
losing his ability to shoot. There was like 4 times I want to say that Maverick. Maybe if 4 is a stretch. I'm exaggerating. So watching the Mavs game, he was open in the wing 3 like 3 or 4 times, wide open. No one's guarding him. Brick. It's not even like close. I don't know what is up with him shooting threes, but it's just not working out for him this season. And then now you have Luke Kennard getting hurt, which is like the best shooter on the team, which kind of sucks to see, but it's whatever. I think someone that looks good though for them, and this could be biased. Terrence Mann looks great. I think
Yeah,
he
he
should start
does.
over Reggie. He looks like he could be like a. I think his
Yeah,
ceiling.
I don't know why Reggie Jackson's. I mean, I know they play different positions, but I think Terrence Mann can fill that ball handler, playmaker role
He does it really well.
just as well as Reggie
Uh,
Jackson can. And
When they played against the Rockets, they were obviously up, right? So they let Terrence Mann in the game. It was like 4 or 5 plays in a row. He was just finding guys open, and it was just like, again, it's the Rockets, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. But it's like the fact that these guys were hitting shots and playing aggressive with him on the court. It's good to see, and you want to see that. But with Reggie Jackson, it's more of like this slow game. It's either he shoots a 3 or he holds the ball for a while and then kicks it out, which I don't like. I think Reggie Jackson should be the one coming off the bench with the last minutes of the game, like when it's already over, just so you can secure the win. But Terrence Mann should be starting, or John Wall should be starting. It should not be Reggie Jackson. I think that's the biggest issue with the team.
I think John
Having
Wall
that
should
playmaker.
start.
I love
I
John
agree.
Wall.
I think they might just be easing John Wall back into it.
I
Yeah,
just don't
he looks
understand
good, though.
like why Reggie Jackson starts at all because like I feel like he's more of like a guy who would come off the bench rather than start. And John Wall is more of a starter than a guy who'd rather come off the bench. Especially
just
for
a
this
guy-
team.
He's just a guy where like Reggie Jackson, in my opinion, it's like you imagine you're in a fight, right? You know the expression where it's like you put your foot on someone's neck. You know that expression?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're starting a fight off, Reggie Jackson's not the guy that should be throwing punches. You put him in, just put the foot on the neck or just sit on the guy while he's down. You don't want him starting the game because if you're starting the game with him, you're losing the game. That's the
Yeah.
only issue with Reggie Jackson. Because once he starts missing shots, everyone's like, what's the point? But you know who isn't going to miss shots, though? Batum. Nicholas Batum went 7 for 7 for 3 against the Mavericks. That was a beautiful game to watch. He was
Mhm.
catch and shoot, shot a shot over Luka. Luka shot a shot over him to end the game, though, which was kind of sad. But I don't know. I think there's a lot more upside than what you guys are seeing. But I don't know how many games you have watched them playing, other than just seeing like the score.
I think
board or
I
everything.
watched like 2 games so far. of
I
the
think-
Clippers.
I watched almost every game. I've missed one, and I don't know if I'm going to watch the one tonight. But the games that I have watched, I don't know how many you've watched, Josh, but they look bad, but not to the point where I don't think they're in contention. I think it's just there's a lot of like questionable coaching moves where it's like, why are you starting Reggie? Why isn't Terrence Mann playing? And are we really going to start Luke Kennard over Norman Powell right now? Even though Norman Powell has been atrocious. Do we really want to just trust that defensively? Which I don't get.
I just think I maybe it could be like defense stance because Luke Kennard is like a defensive liability, but
I think you can afford to have him as a defensive liability.
Yeah, because I mean, because they
when
have
you,
all
when you
those
have
3D
Kawhi,
players.
Paul George, Zubac, guys who are pretty
But we
good
don't have
defenders.
Kawhi right now. We need to win games now, right?
Regardless, if you don't have Kawhi, you
Not
still
really.
have Paul George. You still have Paul George, and then John Wall, and then Zubac too. Like you have all these perimeter guys and inside guys. Like I think you could afford losing Norman Paul in the starting lineup.
I think he just helps out a lot. Starting lineup, I think with switchings and stuff like that Luka game. I love seeing Terrence Mann guard Luka because he always talks shit to him. That's an amazing thing to see. But when they were switching with Powell, onto their other onto the other players in that team. Like Dwight Powell had the ball at one point. They switched him onto Powell. Powell and Powell action, whatever you call it. It wasn't too bad. I like him defensively, but I don't know if Luke Kennard can actually sustain that. He didn't play that game, so of course I can't judge him yet. But he does get taken advantage of sometimes, and it's not good to see.
I mean,
But-
that's honestly fine. Like, you're gonna have guys who get taken advantage of. Like, it is what it is.
But I don't think I don't think you could start that though. Like, why would you want that risk?
You can start
imagine-
that 100%.
Why wouldn't you want a starting lineup where it's like John Wall, Norman Powell, Paul George, Kawhi?
Because
Zubac?
Norman Powell doesn't give you the same thing offensively that Luke Kennard does.
But then Luke Kennard doesn't
You
do
can
that
you
much
can you can you
defensively.
can hide Luke Kennard. You can put Luke Kennard on their worst, perimeter guy, and
Who
no
is
deal
that
with the
though? Like on most teams, you're not going to run into that. Especially now. Like, what team in the West is like, yeah, we'll let Luke Kennard guard him. It's fine.
yeah, put him on Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges isn't
Mikal
taking
Bridges is
anyone off
going
the
to cook
dribble.
him.
No, he's not. He's not
gonna
taking
cook him.
anyone off the dribble. He's going to stand in
He's
the
going to
corner.
cook him.
No, he's
Have
not.
you watched him this season? Mikal Bridges
Armand,
has been taking people.
He is
off
a
the
spot.
dribble.
He's a spot up shooter. That is what he is.
I'm telling you, this season Mikal Bridges has been taking people off the dribble. I've watched him play. He's
I'm
taking people off
I'm
the
telling you,
dribble.
the Phoenix Suns cannot be a successful team if they're running their offense through Mikal Bridges.
No, they can't. But if you have someone that's terrible on you for that one game or a couple of possessions, Luke Kennard's gonna get beaten up, bro. He's gonna get taken advantage of. He's just gonna get bodied. And I like Luke Kennard. I think that you don't start him, but you run lineups with him in it, with the starting lineup. Like if you want to start like 6 minutes into the game, you put in Luke Kennard instead of Norman Powell. You can do that. Or 8 minutes into the game. That's fine too. You can run with the starters sometimes, but I think you should be a permanent starter. Just as defensively, I don't like that. Also, someone that should play for the Clippers more, Robert Covington. I like him. I like that guy.
I like Robert Covington
know.
too.
I don't like him.
Oh, who
Why
had
don't
40
you like
points
him?
last season? Who dropped the 40
I
points
just
last
I just
season?
don't think he's a reliable guy.
wasn't
this
What's
time
not
of his career.
reliable about him?
Oh,
Huh?
What's
The
not
fact that
what's-
the fact that he shoots like about 40% as a small forward from the field.
you know what was really sad?
Well, he's kind of like a spot up shooter. He's like a PJ Tucker type of player, which is good to
No,
have.
PJ
because he
Tucker
could-
makes a lot more shots than him.
PJ
Well, he
Tucker's
gets a
elite
lot more
player
shots
from
than
the
him.
corner. I love PJ Tucker for corner threes. You know how Michael has Tristan Thompson? I have PJ Tucker. That's my guy. I love PJ Tucker,
is
bro.
that guy. But I like Robert Covington. I would want him on my team. Like if I was getting a team, and
I'd
if
be
I had
all
like
set.
a 10th player, if I had a 10th player to get, I would get Robert Covington.
He cost us the game the other day,
I
though.
wouldn't.
Batum had a free throw, right? Where he hit it right off the side of the rim, so it landed to Covington. Covington got the rebound and then dropped it out of bounds, and they lose. That was the Mavs game. That's why it was sad. If he just puts it up, they win. It was disappointing, or they tie it. Speaking about disappointing players in the NBA, Josh, you had said to me at the beginning of the year, and I was telling you guys both that Paulo Banchero
And I
was
stand by the statement.
Excuse me, that Paulo Banchero is the best player in the draft and has limitless potential and is going to be that guy. And you were telling me that I was crazy, and you said that Jabari Smith Jr. is going to be better than him this season, and he hasn't been. So what is your excuse now?
At the start of the season, I said Paolo will win Rookie of the Year, but Jabari
okay.
Smith will be the better player. Absolutely, I said that.
He
Absolutely,
could
I said
just
that.
be
No,
having a slow start.
A very fucking slow start. To be on the worst team in the league, top 2 worst team
Last
in the
time
league.
I checked, my guy, you drafted him in fantasy,
Yeah,
and
because
you're just a little bit salty. You're just a little bit
No,
salty.
I'm
that
just
he's
angry
just
that
not
you guys were
performing.
sitting here and telling me that Paulo wasn't better than him. This guy right here specifically was saying that Paulo wasn't better
Yes,
than him
I
either.
stand by the
And
statement.
this guy too,
Well,
whatever it is.
I mean, well,
Both
if you
of
like,
them.
I'm
Both of
like,
them.
I'm like on the left.
I told you, Paolo will be the worst out of the three.
And
I
he
stand
isn't.
by
He's
it.
clearly the best out of the 3. One can't even play. So where are we going now? Like one's not even suiting up. Guy got hurt on a slippery court. Like that is just disappointing. Like you can't even grip the court. You can't grip the court with your feet.
Pause.
You're just sliding and falling everywhere. Paulo Banchero is dunking over people, having historic games as a rookie.
He's also on I don't know.
There's no way you're saying, "Oh, he's on the Magic, though, bro." Jabari Smith is on the Rockets.
Well,
he
they have
should
good
get
scorers
He
on the
takes
Rockets.
plenty of shots. He just doesn't make any of them.
They have good scorers on the Rockets.
They have given him
Kevin Porter,
opportunities.
Jalen Green,
He has opportunities. He's
and
been given it
that new
already.
guy Sengun. Sengun, I think that's what you say.
Sengun.
Sengun.
He's been given Sengun is crazy.
I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I don't.
He said penguin.
No.
Penguin. Yeah,
What do you-
Penguin.
No, but he's been giving the scoring opportunities. He's just like not making it at all.
I'm telling you, be patient with Jabari Smith.
So if I
Trust
dropped
the
him in fantasy,
process.
you're gonna pick him up.
No, I told you I don't think he's gonna have a great rookie year.
Wait, wasn't
we're waiting for 3 years
Joel
now?
wasn't Joel Embiid
Huh?
and like Michael Carter Williams in the same draft class?
No.
I don't know. Don't
Or
think so,
was
though.
Joel Embiid the next year after? Well, look at Michael Carter Williams, man. He won Rookie of the Year, and now he's trash. And
Paulo
then that
looked
same year,
amazing though. The fact that you're
that
comparing
same
is
year,
ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, Michael Carter Williams looked amazing that year too.
So you still
But,
don't believe
like,
in Paulo?
I trust Paulo.
I think Paolo's gonna be okay. I think he's gonna be pretty good.
What is okay?
I don't
I
don't
think
think
he's gonna be
he's-
good too.
I think he's been
just
really
don't want to ride the
inefficient so far.
bandwagon.
It's not a. All right, it's a bandwagon for you, but I've been on the.
It's a
fucking Paulo
bandwagon.
train.
It's a bandwagon. Everyone's bandwagoning Paulo, and I just
You're not
want to be
saying me.
different. I want to be
They're not-
different.
Okay.
You are a meat riding him, bro.
I was on the train before he was drafted. I said he should have been the number 1 pick before
Yes,
that
so
was
was
even out.
everybody else. Everyone
No,
else
they
was.
weren't.
When he was in
Everyone said.
Duke.
Everyone
When he was in
said
Duke.
Jabari Smith Jr. was gonna be the number 1 pick because that's what the Magic said, and I
Well, they
said
were
Paulo's
right.
gonna be the best.
They were
No,
right.
they said Jabari Smith Jr. is gonna be the number 1 pick. They were right. No, they weren't. They literally weren't right. How are you double wrong?
Oh,
How
wait,
are you
no,
double wrong?
Jabari was the first pick.
It wasn't.
Now you're triple wrong. This is insane.
Wait, Jabari, who was first pick?
Paulo.
Paulo, right? Paulo. Was first?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
This
I
is
got
insane.
confused. I thought Paulo was third, and then Jabari was first, but it was
Bro,
the
this
opposite.
guy don't even know fucking drafts, bro. This guy is terrible. Anyways, this
Yeah,
is where
he's
the fun
terrible.
stuff. Actually, no, we have a couple more things to talk about when it's like starting the season and stuff. Do you guys want to get anything off real quick before I go off to the next topic? Next
Go for
topic
it.
is gonna be the Mavs. So,
Go.
okay, do you think the Mavericks could actually win with Hero Ball?
As in Luka
No.
being the hero.
Yes. Like ever.
They
Like,
will not win. Like I think like they need another person because like if Luka is out, then the whole team is out. Like
If Luka's playing, they still don't have a chance. I think.
Really.
well no
can't
because
win with
like
one
I feel
guy.
like you
LeBron went to the finals with one guy.
Dirk
And how'd that work out? Like
Dirk
Dirk?
won with one
he still
guy.
had Kevin Love.
Dirk had Kevin Love?
Dirk was the hero ball.
Yeah.
You said
Dirk-
LeBron went to the finals and he still had Kevin Love.
Yeah, LeBron went to the finals with the Cavs.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
giving an example. I'm giving the example
guy.
of like
I
Dirk
think
won
Zydrunas
hero ball.
Ilgauskas is better than anyone on this Mavs team.
Who? Larry who?
Zydrunas Ilgauskas is better than
Oh.
anyone on this Mavs team.
I
Don't
got
compare it to
Christian
me.
Wood over.
I like Big Z.
I got Christian Wood over him.
Yeah, you would say that.
You're
Yeah,
just
I got Christian Wood. I got Christian Wood.
racist
over him.
against Lithuanian people. That is all I'm saying.
There's only one Lithuanian I hate. He's on
Who?
the right of the
Wanda.
screen. He's on the right of me.
Imagine it's Josh. You go back. and
No,
it's
no.
Josh.
When you point, bro. Okay, so what I'm seeing, right? When you point, it's going this way, right? When I'm on the left side of you.
For me,
when you
you're
point-
on the
when-
left side of me, and I'm pointing this way. And it's
All right,
pointing
but
to
you gotta remember what it looks like because it's on viewing on my screen, and you're pointing to like absolutely nothing.
Okay, then this guy here is an idiot. This
no,
guy here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
no,
No.
No, he's a smart guy.
I am a smart guy. I'm a very smart guy.
No.
I'm so Mondon smart.
Are the Warriors done for?
I don't think they're done for. I think
They're
they still make
not
a comeback.
done, but they're not winning a championship this year.
That def not. Well, from these guys, these two guys, they said they're able to make they're contenders, right? So that's able to make a run, win a championship. So are
That's
you guys
good.
switch? Are you switching off from pretenders, from contenders to pretenders?
Well,
No.
at the time we were saying contenders was to make a run in the playoffs. I think they make a run in the playoffs. I don't think they can win a championship.
They're championship level contenders now. Still, I think that they're going to make a trade middle of the season. I think they're going to get rid of Moody.
Who are they?
Then you get rid of Moody, Kuminga, and then you get rid of Wiseman.
And don't
They
get
can't get rid of Moody, Kuminga, and Wiseman.
They're at least getting one of them gone. And I think once they get one of them gone, they're fine.
I think
I
they're
think
gonna ride on the Wiseman bandwagon.
You're not, or you are?
No, I'll ride on Wiseman.
Pause. That is crazy.
Oh, yeah, pause.
That was an insane statement. No, I don't think he's. I think he's gonna be a bust compared to the players that were drafted in that draft. I don't think he's anywhere close to their level yet. And I get big guys take time in the NBA, but he is taking a little bit too much time when he has like a great system around him and great players around him.
I think that's the problem is that he's not he hasn't been given the keys yet. Like some.
You want to give him the
guys.
keys? You want to give him the keys?
Not on a championship team, but like on a team like where a typical guy top draft pick comes in. Yeah,
Okay, what team are you giving him the keys?
the Orlando Magic are
Rockets.
giving the keys.
No,
That's too many big
Detroit
men.
Pistons are giving the keys.
no.
Rockets.
Yeah.
Rockets.
Yeah, and you're
Keys?
not playing any of them over James Wiseman.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like he's the number one option. Like that's it. That's what giving the
Rockets.
keys means. Rockets?
Yeah, no, honestly,
You think he's just the best player in the Rockets too?
He could be. I'm not saying he
I don't
would
think
be.
He's better than
the best
Jalen
player,
Green?
but
This is
He could be. He
I
has
know he's better than.
potential
I
to
think he's better than Jalen Green.
be. Yeah.
that is crazy.
I don't
Why?
think he's better right now, but I feel like he can be better. He doesn't have the keys like Josh did.
No, he's not better than Jalen Green. A basketball player, he's not better. There's no way, guys. That's ridiculous. Is Wendell Carter better than Wiseman right now?
No,
So
Yeah,
Wendell
right
Carter is better
now.
than. So if Wendell Carter is better than James Wiseman,
I'm not saying like
Jalen
Wendell
Green
Carter
has
will
to
be
be
on him.
better.
No, I'm saying like Wendell Carter right now is playing basketball better, but Wendell Carter had the keys, right? Because last year he was the best player on the Magic, but now he's
Not
not
this year, though.
anymore. Yeah,
Not
you're
even
right.
close.
Not this year. He's
Not
a role
even
player
close.
now. He's a role
Just
player now.
back to being an L.
But
Terrible
it's,
player.
if Wiseman got the same keys as Wendell Carter did, I feel like Wiseman would do better with the keys. He would be
I
the
think-
better driver.
He's not a better driver than Jalen Green, though. That's just not true.
He could be. He's that
That's
guy.
just he hasn't
If you see-
proven
if you see-
anything ever. He hasn't proven anything, and you're saying, yeah,
he
he's
was
better.
pretty good. He was very good his rookie year.
Didn't play that much his rookie year. How many games did he play?
He's just battling injuries.
Played
right now.
39.
That's a lot of games.
He's
No,
he's
but I'm saying
battling-
in those games he played pretty good.
What did he average in those
He's-
games?
In 21 minutes, he averaged 12 and 6 for the block.
Okay, that is not comparable to Jalen Green stats last
was
year.
It's
also-
better than
who was,
Jalen Green's stats last year. Absolutely, it is.
What? You're insane. It's not even better than Cade's stats last year either. It's not even better than Cade's stats this year. And Cade's
Bro's meat white. I don't know.
because you were saying that
Cade
he was saying that he would get the keys in the Pistons. And he's not better than Cade. Okay,
Cade has more potential.
does not.
Cade does have more. So Cade doesn't have more potential.
No, sorry. I thought you were saying that Wiseman. has
No,
more
I
potential.
was saying Cade has more potential, but Cade is also not playing very well.
Right now, Cade is better. Jalen Green is better. Anthony Edwards is better. LaMelo is better. All than Wiseman. If you're having a
LaMelo is
draft,
iffy
you're
for
taking
me.
them all over. You're taking all over Wiseman.
I'll take all those.
I think
Jalen Green. I don't know.
give
Jalen Green, I don't
the
know.
big guy a little bit more time.
I'm not
You
saying
think
Jalen
he's
Green.
that good? Jalen Green's the only person.
Jalen Green, no.
I don't. I'm not a huge.
I feel like, yeah,
Jalen
for
fan.
me. For me, Jalen Green.
better than
I would
Cade.
pick.
Is
No,
he
he's
better
not
than Cade?
No.
Okay, so why are you saying that now, Ramesy?
What?
That he's
No,
better than
I'll
Cade?
pick Wiseman over. I'll pick Wiseman over Jalen Green. If they're
Okay,
all
that's the only
rookies,
player.
and I'm going into the season, and I'm picking up someone, I'll pick up Wiseman.
I still think that's insane. I think based off what you've seen, you can't just assume that Wiseman's gonna be better because he's a big guy.
Well,
He needs
I
time.
seen a couple like 2 games when he was in the the G League. No, he was in the G League, right? Or was
Watch-
he Europe?
So
And
G League,
he's when he's played this year, he's been good. He just
they
is
lose
not
when he
playing-
plays. Like they just
He's not playing enough minutes to
But
affect the
you
game.
guys have to realize
He is.
you have to realize he's just coming off an injury where he didn't play all year last year.
He played in the G League with his injury. He looks good, but he's just not better than these players. Like it's just like until I see it, I'm not gonna just put him there. Even when he's played this season, does not look
Just
better
give
than
him
Jalen
time.
Green.
Just give him time. I feel like time is what he needs.
Yeah, how much fucking time does he need to be? Just to admit that right now,
He's
Josh,
like
you have to admit this
21.
at least. To admit that, then admit right now that Jalen Green's better. All these players are better. Right now,
I think I'd take Wiseman over Green still.
that's fucking insane. For one season, you're taking him over Green.
Yeah.
Okay, that is like talking to a brick wall at that point. But anyways,
I don't think Jalen Green gives you much.
he's a good playmaker. He's a good shooter.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Jalen
No, he's
Green.
not a good
How many
playmaker.
Rockets games did you watch this year? Tell me.
Armand,
Don't
zero.
look at
I don't
numbers.
need. I don't need
You
to
can't
watch
say
the
anything.
Houston Rockets.
You can't watch stats and be like, "Oh, I can determine what
Armand,
he's good at by this."
Armand, you have no
Go ahead.
idea how to break down the game of basketball. It's actually
Clearly,
insane.
I do. If you only go off stats, you're just watching the box score. You're not watching.
I've seen
basketball.
Jalen Green enough.
Highlights. That's it.
No,
Or
I've,
if you low light,
I've seen
what have you
I've seen the Rockets play basketball.
When? Last year or
Last
this
year he
year?
was.
So you didn't watch
last
anything
year.
this year. So you don't think he could have made a playmaking improvement this year?
Playmaking is usually not something you get too much better at.
That's actually wrong. Because if you're a better, if you start becoming a better shooter, right? You become a better playmaker because it's harder to guard you, and then you can actually make plays for other people. Huge misconception.
Strongly disagree. Strongly disagree.
All right, so is Steph Curry not a good playmaker? Is Kyrie not a good
He's
playmaker?
a good player. No, Kyrie's not a good playmaker.
Who's
no.
a good playmaker then? What defines a good playmaker?
A good playmaker is a guy who can take you off the dribble and create for others.
So Jalen Green can't do that? He can't.
No,
take
he
you
doesn't
off the
create for
dribble?
others. No, he doesn't. He can take
Why?
you off the dribble.
Who doesn't? How does he not create for others? Because the defense does collapse on him.
Because he doesn't
and
pass enough.
it out. He does pass. I'm just
He's a
telling you.
chucker.
Okay. This is insane. Are you saying he's a chucker because he doesn't average a lot of assists? So if he just averaged like 8 assists, right? Based off
No,
the
I'm
passes he
saying
makes now,
he's a chucker because he's taking 18 shots a game and he's not that good.
he's the number one option on that team, and he is that good.
No, he's not. Kevin Porter should be the number one option.
No.
Kevin Porter's the best player on the team.
Jalen Green is a better player than Kevin Porter right now.
In what way?
One's a better scorer. One's a better.
Barely.
No, he's a better scorer. Kevin
Barely.
Porter is not a better scorer.
They average the same.
Don't tell me points, bro. Because if I'm watching,
They
you play,
average
bro,
the same in
I'm
points.
telling you, Jalen Green's better. Kevin
They
Porter's
average-
smarter than him. You can say that. Because
They
Kevin
average
Porter
That's
the
doesn't
same
make dumb
crazy.
moves.
That's the guy who's throwing soup.
He's smarter, like basketball IQ wise. He is. He doesn't have manners, you could say, I guess. But there's no way you're saying that Jalen Green is worse than Kevin Porter. I don't understand the logic.
I think
behind
anyone in their right mind is saying that.
So
Why?
Kevin Porter is a better passer
it. Based off what?
based off his stats.
Is it assists?
So that's why I don't like judging it off. Like you just say based off stats,
you
he's
do
better.
have bad
So,
stats is
That's
90%
same logic,
of the
right? Based off
Armand,
that logic,
last podcast you told me DeAndre Ayton wasn't a good player because he looks lackluster. Like
what? How the
You
fuck
told me
does that make
DeAndre-
sense, Josh?
that's what you
DeAndre
told me.
Ayton is lackluster. I did not say that.
He's
He's
also
DeAndre-
no way. That
Kevin
is
Porter is also
definitely
a better
part of it.
rebounder. He's also a better
That is
rebounder.
such- All right, sure, he's a better rebounder.
He's also a better
He averaged more rebounds a
rebounder.
game. That is great. So John Stockton is like the greatest playmaker of all time. He averages the most assists.
Yeah,
From a
he's a
point
great
guard,
playmaker.
right? So he's the best one of all time,
Playmaker.
right? He's the best one of all time.
I think Matt.
But he
a
averages
little
more
bit more-
assists than all these other guys. He has to be better. Because stats is 90%
Yeah,
of the game.
He's a better passer. Yeah.
He's a better
He's a
playmaker.
better
Nope,
passer.
playmaker. Has to be because playmaking is assist, right? This is stupid logic. You just can't go off assist. You can't go off assist saying that's playmaking. That is dumb
Kevin
logic.
Porter is a better passer. He's a better passer. He's a better rebounder.
Sure. I don't know if you count rebounding for guards. It's not that important.
He's better at defense.
They're both bad on defense. So you can't
Well,
really
Kevin
gauge
Porter
who's
is better at
How are you
defense.
saying he's better? Why is he
And
better?
you could differentiate.
What does he do better on defense?
You could differentiate. You could differentiate.
He's bigger.
He
That's
also
it?
he also
He's bigger?
averages 0.6 more
Yeah.
steals. I know you don't complain.
I'm not looking at
because that
stats.
is the
I'm not
stat.
looking at stats.
That is the stat.
I'm not going to go on stats
He
because
does average.
you get being a better defender doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of steals. That's not true because everyone knocks Harden for being a bad defender, and he averaged like a steal for his career.
No one's knocking him off anymore.
He was always
He
knocked,
did-
even when he averaged a steal. In Houston, he averaged a steal a game.
He did get
Dude,
better.
this is dumb.
He did
No.
get better.
He's the same level of defender. defense is just effort, right? At the end of the day, it's just effort. So going off stats is ridiculous. Saying like, oh, when you have two bad defending guards, you're just going off stats is crazy. Because that just proves
No
to
one's
me you're
just
not
going
watching
off
the play. If
stats.
you're,
No one's just
you could
going off stats.
you
though.
just went off stats saying it's 90% of the game.
Yeah,
That was
I'm
your whole
trying to.
argument.
You differentiate people by their stats.
No, you
I
differentiate
think
people by how they
stats
play. Not by
stats tells the
stats.
majority of the story.
It
So
does.
why isn't Miles Turner the best defender in the NBA? He
Why
averages
is who?
4 blocks a game.
Who?
Miles Turner. Why isn't he the best defender in the NBA? He averages 4 blocks a game and a steal, doesn't he? Or 3.5 blocks a game, or 2.5 blocks a game and a steal.
And he's
I think
one
it's
of the
3.5.
better defenders in the NBA.
Is he top 5?
It also,
He's one of the better
He should be 1.
defenders.
He should be 1. It's not better
Stats-
defenders. He should be 1 because based
stats,
off your
dude,
logic,
He does.
the
He
stats
never.
are saying
He
he's
never
better.
That's
plays.
not logic.
He never plays.
He's playing now, so you can't use that argument.
He's already missed games this year.
He's missed like
so
5
this
games.
season he's the best defender. Because you can't just predict an injury, right? You can't just say, "Oh, he's not going to play." He hasn't played
We're
5
not
games.
saying
sure.
that. We're not saying that stats tell 100% of the story. We're
But
just saying
90%
it
is
tells.
huge.
But I think there are other
tells most of the
stats
story.
that'll back up Rudy Gobert being the best defender in the NBA.
There are stats, but
His
even just
defensive
watching
rebounds,
it, you can tell there's a
His
complete
defensive
drop-off.
rebounds,
there's a
defensive
drop-off
rebounds,
between-
blocks, steals. If you could guard certain positions or not, like if you could be a better perimeter defender, inside defender. Most of the stats you base stats like you could base stats off that too as well. But like we're saying that 90% is like what you could tell the difference between others. Rudy Gobert is not gonna average 0 steals, 0 blocks, and be the defensive player of the year. You just can't. You can't.
No, you can't, and you're right. They play a
Absolutely.
factor into if you're blind and you don't watch basketball, you're right. Stats do determine a lot of what you can actually perceive. You're 100% right. I agree.
Especially offensively.
But the big difference is if you're watching the games, right, and you're understanding how they are playing, and you're just watching people play, you're like, hey, this guy's a really good scorer. This guy isn't a good scorer. That is a more reliable thing than looking at stats.
Kevin
I will trust
Huerter.
someone. This is another point. Kevin Huerter is actually a good example.
Yeah.
I was telling you last year and the year before that Kevin Huerter was a really good player. He's a good shooter, and he was going to be good on another
He's an
team.
average player.
He's not an average player. He's an above average player.
On a bad team. On a bad team.
No, the Kings are being a good team this season. They're going to make the play-in at
But
least.
the
They're
record
making the
doesn't show
playoffs.
that. The
That's not a
record
good
doesn't show
team.
that.
It is a good team. They're
The
playing
record
They're
does
an
not
average
show
team
that.
if they make the
They're
play.
playing
They're an
really
average
good.
team.
They're playing really
Their
good.
defense is also horrible too. Their defense is horrible. That's why they lose games. Their defense is horrible. That's why they lose games.
And Kevin Huerter is playing a lot of defense. He's not bad defensively this year.
And how do you know that? How do you know he's playing a lot of defense?
I'm watching the games.
But
I'll tell you all the teams that I watched, like consistently.
Okay.
Pacers,
But I can
the
tell he's a good defender
Rockets,
based off his
the
stats.
Clippers. But you can't though, because you're not watching. It doesn't. All right, if I guard you, right, I'm gonna shoot 10 times. You make 10 threes over me, but my hand is in your face every single time, and I'm guarding up. It's not that I'm a bad defender. It's that you're just making those shots, even though it was good defense played on you.
I don't think you can measure.
I watch these
defense
games,
off
and I
stats
also
too much.
I watch games, and I also look at the stats as well because I needed to figure out like, okay, like I see that he's shooting the ball, but I'm not gonna count how many times he misses. I'm also not gonna count how many times he scores. So I'm gonna look at the stat and see, okay, let me see how he's performing because I see these shots going like not making them. And I'm gonna be like, okay, let me see how many he's missed. So they stop giving the guy this ball. Or let me see how many times he's make it to see like, you know, how efficiently he's scoring. And if I see he's shooting 60% of the field, I'm gonna be like, okay, he's a good shooter. I'm not gonna see him make 2 shots and then miss 10 and then be like, okay, like he's a good shooter. Like, no, like
You don't.
I get what you're saying.
That,
I get what you're saying when you like, how these guys play, but most of the game you have to base it off the stats because like if you're just watching the game, you can't count how many times the guy's passed the ball. You can't count how many times this guy has given an assist.
If you're gonna only go off the stat, then why are you like?
No one's only going off.
Why
the
are
stat.
you watching?
No one's only going off the stat though.
That 90% of the game is stats. You were saying that to gauge who is better, 90% of it is stats.
To differentiate players, you go off.
Differentiate 2 guys on the same team to say who's a better playmaker. If one guy's averaging double the assists, he's a better playmaker.
I don't think so. I don't think you can make that
It's
I don't think
crazy
that's not
talk.
logical. It's because if you're watching them play, one is carrying up the ball more, and the other one is going to be a pass first player because he's not even close to as good as an offensive player as the other one.
They're
It's a complete
close. They're
difference.
close offensively.
They're not though. One's a better shot creator than the other.
Jalen Green only averages 2 more
Green-
points, but Kevin Porter also averages more
Jalen Green
assists.
is
That's
a
how you
way
can tell.
better shot creator than Kevin Porter. That's why he's a better
Kevin
offensive player than him.
Kevin Porter is a better 3-point shooter, and you could
It-
argue he's a
sure.
better inside scorer. And you could argue
Not
he's
a better.
inside
No, he is
scorer.
not. No,
Yes,
he
you
is
can
not.
argue it. You can argue
No,
it.
he is not.
It's
That
an
is
argument.
ridiculous.
It is
No,
argument.
it is not. It is not.
The way he
Not an
plays,
argument.
yes. The way he plays,
No,
yes.
it is not. It is
His
not an
play style.
argument. It's not. I'm not going to listen to the guy that didn't know who Sengun was or how to say his name. So how the fuck do I know you actually watched the
Just because
Rockets
I
game?
couldn't pronounce his name doesn't mean I
No,
didn't
you
watch him
clearly
play.
didn't know who he was because they say his name like 30 times a game.
But the other
it's
people
clearly not.
announcers pronounce Giannis's name
They
wrong
said
all
his
the
name
time.
right every time.
They
because
pronounce
they're
it-
saying he's been Jokic.
They used to pronounce his name wrong all the time. You're gonna tell them they don't know the game of basketball because they don't know how to pronounce his name?
Yes,
I'm
clearly
bad
they
at pronouncing.
They can't
I'm
pronounce
bad
the
at
name,
pronouncing.
and you're
I'm
watching
bad
this guy every day.
at pronouncing names all the time. It doesn't mean I don't watch the game. I just don't
Sengun
know how to
and
pronounce
Sengun
his
is
name.
Crazy.
I just don't know how to pronounce his name. It
Crazy
doesn't
thing
mean I don't know the game of basketball. Like what?
You
That doesn't
clearly
make
don't
sense.
watch the Rockets. Is what I'm saying. This you know basketball, so I'm not listening
I
to the
watched
guy
one.
talking about
I
the
watched
Rockets.
one game of the Rockets.
So I'm not gonna
I
listen
will
to
admit,
you.
but I can't watch every game, right? I can't watch every game.
No,
I
you
watch the
can't,
games
but
I
it's like-
can.
I'm
But
not
then
gonna
I
trust
also could
your
tell the
opinion if
difference.
You're going off stats compared to me that's watching them more. I'm telling you this stuff because I see it with my eyes. Don't
But
believe
I'm
it.
not
Go
gonna
watch
trust
the
you because your
That's
eyes
because
can't
you don't
deceive
watch
you.
it.
Your
You
eyes
just don't
can't
watch
deceive
it.
you. You watch
your eyes
every.
deceive
You
you by
watch
watching the
40
stats.
every 48 minutes of the game.
No, I haven't watched every single minute of the Rockets game.
Okay.
I haven't watched every game of the Rockets game. But I can tell you I've watched 6 games of the Rockets game. And based off the 6 games I've seen this season only, Jalen Green's a better player than
But
Kevin
how do you
Porter.
know, like, out of the other minutes that Kevin Porter is not the better player?
I've watched all 48 minutes of the 6 games I watched. I'll say that. Yeah, I have.
You watch every 48 minutes of the 6
Of the
games
6
you
games?
watch.
Yeah, because whenever I watch a game, I only watch one at a time. Remember, I go and I rewatch these games on League Pass.
I do too.
I've told you I've done this. So this is
I do
only
too.
fair.
I do
And
too.
I'm telling you, you can do your homework and watch them play more, and then you'll see that I'm right. That Jalen Green's a better player
No.
than Kevin Porter.
I think Kevin Porter is a better player.
I don't think you're close. I think it's
He's the
ridiculous
better.
that we're having
He's
this
the better
conversation.
playmaker. He's the better.
This is the same guy that's
rebounder,
saying that
the better
Just
defender.
it's not about. They're both terrible defenders, so it's like, oh, a better defender. It's like
They're
by half
better,
a
yeah,
They're both terrible defenders, but one is a choice on Kevin Porter's part. Jalen Green is a liability. A 6'2" guard who
Kevin Porter is also a liability. It's
no,
also
because
that.
he's a 6'6" point guard. You know, it's a
Still
choice to be bad at defense at that point.
So it's even worse. At least Jalen Green is trying.
Yeah, so I'm saying in a playoff situation, you know, Jalen Green's getting picked on, Kevin Porter's not.
What? If Kevin Porter
Yes.
isn't trying, right, and just doesn't want to try on defense, and Jalen Green's being a pest and he's trying, they're not going to go to the pest because he's shorter. They're going to go to the guy that doesn't play defense. It's the whole
No,
point.
they're not. No, they're not.
I mean, guys, they're both the same height. It really doesn't matter. They're both the same height.
Oh, so this guy's pulled some shit out of his ass. I would have believed you too, because
bullshit
Kevin
on that.
Porter's hair, when he did have long hair, made him look a lot taller. Now that he has
They
that
are
buzz
the
cut,
same
though,
I mean, he's also bigger. Like, there's probably a 25-pound difference in the two.
I'm talking about pounds, bro. That's crazy.
It makes a
pounds do
huge
determine-
Pound
difference.
difference is not going to determine like a whole playoff scenario based on defense. Not just that
Absolutely
one
it
little
is.
factor. No.
Absolutely, it is.
So effort, pounds. What's more
Yeah,
important?
absolutely.
Kevin Porter is
Pound.
more likely to
25
steal the
pounds
ball
versus effort?
Yes.
based off stats, right? Kevin
Ridiculous.
Porter is likely to steal the ball more than Jalen Green is, which makes him at a point a better defender.
I
Right?
disagree
No,
with that. I
That's
disagree with that.
dumb. No, it's just
He's
dumb.
more. I mean,
Because
steals the
okay, so
ball more.
James Harden and not Kevin Love. Whoa, Trae Young are good defenders because at one point they both averaged a steal. So Trae Young's not the worst defender in the NBA, even though advanced stats, which you say are 90% of the game, will counter
Well, I
that
mean,
these guys are
Jalen Green.
terrible defenders. If you want to
Jalen
bring up
Green-
advanced stats and say
Okay,
like, oh,
let's
this is
do
what I
it.
basically
Let's
give
do
off, sure, advanced stats, you got it. Then you're right because advanced stats do have a factor in offense and defense and stuff like that because they go into the nitty gritty of stuff. But defense
Mhm.
can't really be measured by stats. It's very hard to measure that because effort is the number one thing on defense. That's why I think that
Mhm.
whole
You're absolutely right.
25-pound shit is dumb.
No, it's not because you can bully one guy, you can't bully the other.
If you are both scrawny, what is one?
It's the same reason why, you know, in the 2018 the Cavs are attacking Steph Curry. The Warriors aren't necessarily attacking Matthew Dellavedova.
Because Matthew Dellavedova was just a better defender. He had a higher defensive IQ, which wasn't close. And on top of that, he was a lot more physical. Curry isn't.
Yeah, because you
Not
can't
because he's
bully
stronger,
him.
not because he's
Why?
he's not because he's stronger necessarily. It's because the fact that Matthew Dellavedova was only playing one side of the ball. He wasn't a scorer, so it's like he doesn't have to save any of his energy. Curry was the primary offensive ball handler, not ball handler, but he was the scorer on that Warriors team. So it's going to
No, it's because there's a 15-pound difference.
No, that is not the reason why Curry's a bad defender. Because with that logic,
yes,
Curry is like an elite defender then because he gained weight. Is what your logic is saying. It's not because of effort. It's just because he gained weight.
If he weighed the same as Marcus Smart, he'd be a much better defender.
That is so dumb. That is like a
Armand. Come on, buddy.
Weight determines defensive skill.
It's a huge factor. Yes,
it's better than effort. So someone could be very lackluster, and just because they have weight, they're a good defender.
No, it doesn't mean they're a good defender.
Why is Matisse Thybulle an elite defender?
Because of his build.
His build isn't weight though, so you're already like he's scrawny.
He is not scrawny.
He is scrawny.
He is not.
You see his bones more than you can see muscle out of him.
Those
aren't muscle. Matisse Thybulle? What is he built like?
He probably has 25 pounds on Jalen Green.
Yes.
What I'm saying is. Well, I'm saying if you watch the Celtics, no one plays defense harder than Peyton Pritchard, but he's still a liability.
I can't say that with the Celtics. I don't watch them enough. I can't say that you're wrong. But what I will say is that I think that effort goes way more than just pounds. Like if you're 25 pounds heavier than someone, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to ever be a better defender than them. It's more your effort is what's going to make you better than them. Because that means every big guy should be an elite defender, and they're not. Cat's not a good defender. So it's like
because Cat's role is a rim protector, and he's not the most athletic guy.
He's not a good rim protector.
Yeah, he's not a good rim protector.
So he's not a good rim protector. He's not a good defender. It's more an effort than it is on him.
No. Because I think weight and your size matters more on the perimeter. I think your ability to cut guys off and to bump is a huge factor.
Plus minus 25 pounds isn't going to be the difference. You have a point when you're saying like height, wingspan, and then pounds. You're right, 100%. That gives you an advantage. You're not wrong. I agree with you. But I think
pounds is bigger than height.
I don't think so. Because there's so many players that like they're over.
Why is PJ Tucker? Why is PJ Tucker a good defender?
He's not even like big though. Like he's not like
PJ Tucker is jacked.
He's jacked, but he's not like big. Are you saying 25 pounds of muscle? Or are you saying 25 pounds of just weight? Okay, muscle. Okay. I thought you were just saying.
Was Giannis a better defender when he gained weight, or was he a better defender now?
Yes. No. Absolutely, he's a better.
I mean,
like Tucker is 6'5", 245 pounds.
Okay. We're arguing over two different things. I thought you were just talking about pounds because there's no way you're saying that there's a difference between pounds and then pounds of weight. Because if you're saying muscle rather than just like fat, is completely different.
Jokic is not a good defender, and he weighs more than a lot of people. But like, if you have more muscle, you are likely to be a better defender. Ben Wallace, he was a really good defender.
So Giannis, I'm saying
Rudy Gobert.
Evan Porter Jr. isn't fat.
He's not muscular. He's not.
But he's not scrawny like
they are both the same. Like if you're looking at them, you're like, there's not really that big of a difference between them.
So how does Kevin Porter Jr. weigh 25 pounds more than him?
I don't know. He eats more than them. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, what am I supposed to say? There's not a big difference. If you're looking at these two people, you're not gonna be like, this guy's 100% a better defender because he weighs a little bit more than him. No, bro, you don't know that. Like, you just don't know that. You're just guessing.
But I guarantee you feel it.
No, you don't. Because some guys, some guys touching me and bumping me, touching me all over.
Pause. If I'm driving and I can bully Jalen Green, I can't bully Kevin Porter Jr.
You're not absolutely. You are not bullying.
You're more likely to bully. You're like more if you're a bigger guy, or if you're a smaller guy, you're more likely to get past Jalen Green, right? Because he weighs less. He weighs less, so you're more likely to pass him than you are Kevin Porter, because Kevin Porter does way more, regardless if it's fat or muscle. That's just
fine,
true.
but you're not going to be as fast on the perimeter. If you're more muscular, right?
Obviously,
it's harder for you to be faster on the perimeter. So it has
yeah,
the
I
pros
know,
and
I
cons.
get it.
That's why
I get
effort
it.
means more to me. I'm saying effort means more. But 25 pounds of muscle is completely different.
I think the muscle is more effective than the speed. I think that's why Marcus Smart's such a great defender. It's not because he's quick or the fastest guy.
Quick.
Like,
not because he has effort. Like the effort he has is insane. He goes for every loose ball. That's muscle. That's muscle more than it is him effort.
It's more his body. Yeah,
he's not going to allow
more
someone to
effort than
bully
he
him.
is body. That is it's completely different.
There is no point guard in the NBA built like Marcus Smart.
Yeah, but that means Kyle Lowry should be an elite defender because he's big. He was a good defender. He was never elite. Chris Paul, you could make the argument saying, "Oh, he was kind of chubbier." Not chubby, but like muscular.
Kyle Lowry's listed at 195 pounds. Marcus Smart's listed at 220.
Now what was he before in like Toronto? He was a big dude in Toronto. Because he lost weight in Miami this year. I think he lost like 25. I think he actually did lose 25 pounds. You can check it out.
I don't know if he lost 25 pounds
in 3 months.
Ever since like the playoffs last year. So I don't know if that's 3 months.
Chris Paul is 175 pounds. Like, so there's like, so Marcus Smart has 45 pounds on Chris Paul.
Yep. But either way, like
so
you're being like bigger than someone doesn't necessarily make you a better defender. Like, I don't think
it's a huge advantage.
I think you having effort is harder to get than you gaining weight, because anyone can gain weight.
In the playoffs, when everyone's going to have that effort, you're going to pick on the guy who's smaller.
You can't say everyone has that effort in the playoffs. So there are some people that
everyone
don't.
does that. Everyone has that effort in the playoffs.
No, there's some people that don't. Like,
no.
It's not close. What? You're telling me that people like that does not have played good in the playoffs, and they're just not trying on defense? They're not playing their heart out on defense. Harden was one of those people. So he's tried.
Harden came alive in the playoffs defensively. I think.
No, he did not.
I think we're like straying away from the conversation. I think we're straying away from the conversation. We're a little bit. Well, let's just agree to disagree, right? Because these guys they have very similar play styles, like almost identical, and they're on the same team. It's very easy to say Jalen Green's better, and I think it's very easy to say Kevin Porter's better. I think we could just end the argument off that, because the conversation is getting us nowhere.
I think all right, cool. Let's go to the all-time thing. I think it's just gonna be wild. And one more year we're just going crazy over Jalen Green. I better not see no dick riding from both of you.
No, Jalen Green has more potential than Kevin Porter. But I think right now Kevin Porter's better.
No, because that's a dumb argument. Because the same thing you did with Wendell Carter last year. I'm not letting you do this shit this year. You got.
I was right last year. Wendell Carter
wasn't better last year. No, he wasn't.
Better than who?
Jalen Green was better than Wendell Carter last year. I don't know what is with the Jalen Green agenda. He was.
Jalen Green played so awful the first half. Jalen Green played so awful the first half.
He did play bad the first half, but
he was also a rookie. He was also a rookie on a really horrible team.
Yes,
compared to the Magic,
he played better. Okay, the Magic are a horrible team.
But not worse. Not worse than the Rockets. The Rockets were the worst team last year.
The
Rockets were the worst team last year.
So, you're telling me they're not in the same tier? Like,
the Magic are a lot better right now.
Last year, we're talking about last year, right?
Last year, no, they're not in the same tier. I'm not giving a rookie that. No, Jalen Green. Oh no, like what do you mean same tier? Like same tier players or same team? Like same tier of a team? Teams. They didn't make the playoffs. You're right. You're absolutely right. But one team did play better than the other.
So just by
that was due. That Wendell Carter went in the Magic. They played better. Simple. He's a better defender. He's a better defender. He was a really good scorer. He was more efficient scorer than Jalen Green. Jalen Green was a very bad scorer last year. He was very bad. You're
bringing up winning records when it's plus minus 5-6 wins.
Jalen Green was a very bad scorer in the first half, and you could probably
when you see him pick it up, you're just like, man, he's better. Like he's just a way better player. It's like, hey,
you can't. He's a rookie. You can't give him that.
He's a rookie, so he's not gonna. He's a rookie, so he's gonna play bad.
He was a rookie on a bad team. Right? He was a rookie on a bad team. He was a really bad.
So wasn't Jabari Smith, but we're not giving him the chopping block. So go fuck yourself. Anyways, pick your poison between these players. All right, all-time edition. Tatum versus Paul Pierce. Who is a better player all time?
Well, I can't really rank that. It's Paul Pierce.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can rank it.
Paul Pierce. Tatum has more potential.
All time, who's a
right
better
now,
player?
Tatum peaked right now.
Paul Pierce, but Tatum.
Paul Pierce.
Tatum has peaked higher, I think.
I think that's just a bad pick your
So you're
poison
saying-
because you're
No. Because I'm gonna pick Tatum any day of the week for a player all time.
all time.
If I could have Tatum
this is
like
the
this
same
level,
guy.
this level for his peak, like this is all he is.
This is
his
the
peak.
same guy that you're
Give me
picking
him.
a superstar Paul
Give me him.
Pierce over a non-superstar Jason Tatum. That's all
I'm
saying.
I think
That's all I'm
this might
saying.
be a crazier hot take, but I don't think Paul Pierce is the best player in his team through his championship. It's Kevin Garnett. I went back
No,
and
it's
watched the
Paul Pierce.
finals.
I think that's a
games.
pretty common opinion.
So why is it?
I think
I don't think that. I'm sorry. I don't think that Paul Pierce is like in the conversation as superstardom as it is for Tatum. I think there's levels to this shit, and Jason Tatum's on another level right now, and Paul Pierce was never at that level.
Shaq gave him Paul Pierce the name the truth. Who has given us a name similar to that to Jason Tatum, who's also an NBA legend? Paul Pierce was the
Taco J
truth.
is a pretty good nickname.
We
Who
have
gave him Taco J?
Him.
Jason Tatum?
Crazy nickname.
Yes.
Taco
Jason
J.
Tatum gave him something. I'm getting Paul Pierce, but Jason Tatum will be better in a few more years.
I think right now he's better.
Yeah,
like
I
just a
think he's better
basketball
now.
player, he is a better player. So if you're saying that you're going to build a team, right?
And therefore he's better than Dwayne Wade because Paul Pierce is better than Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
Quick
I
quote.
agree.
Shut up.
I don't know. I think like as with accomplishments all time, Paul Pierce.
But I see, like
We're talking about all time.
You're an
I think
athlete, like,
I think who's the better player? I think it's Tatum.
Tatum's a better.
I'm not
player all
saying
time.
I'm still giving it to Paul Pierce. Tatum
Even
just
if-
needs a couple more years. Just give him a couple more years. He would most definitely be better than Paul Pierce. But I think Paul Pierce right now has the better stats. He has the better, like you said, Tatum hasn't been more efficient, as efficient right now, right? Because he's just getting good. He's just getting really good. You gotta give it time.
I don't know if Paul Pierce is ever very efficient.
I was gonna say the same thing.
He's but like peak to peak. This is
Tatum's
Jason
already
Tatum's
peaked
peak.
higher than him. Like,
We're
right now.
talking peak
I-
to peak. We're talking peak to peak, right? Jason Tatum this season, he's still going. Gotta wait till the end of the season, and then we can compare to peak. But I feel like right now,
Ramesy Vega, this might make you cry. I think
Okay.
he's peaked higher than Melo.
I don't think that's wrong. I don't think that's wrong.
no,
I think Melo
no,
and
not
Paul
yet,
Pierce
not
are the
yet,
two most overrated players ever.
not yet. And
Derrick
I
Rose
think
is
Chris
almost
Paul is
there.
very overrated too.
That's fine, but Chris Paul
I
is
think
top
Chris
10 in
Paul
his
is
top 5 in his position.
Yeah, because there's more
I
competition.
don't think Melo's
small
that
forward.
overrated. I think Melo's
Small
properly
forward,
rated.
small forward has more competition than the point guards. Simply put.
I don't think so, but
Every other
sure.
position has more competition than the point guard position.
Melo
Simply
just
put.
wasn't really ever that great. He was good.
He was really
Great
good. He was
player.
really good,
Just never,
especially
like,
rookie season.
consistent.
He was what
He
he
was
was.
Blackball
all
from the
NBA
NBA.
guy, like
He's
For how many
he
years?
is
How
what
many years was
Paulo,
he?
huh?
6-time All NBA. Like he was pretty
Oh
good.
man, 6 times only, bro. He just 6 years and he's gone out the league. Let him out.
Melo is that guy. He was in competition with LeBron James for Rookie of the Year, and it was very
Yo,
close.
bring it up that
It was very
once.
close. Every
That's the
every single week, it was Melo and LeBron winning player of rookie of the week, and they were the number one scoring options on their teams. Melo
For rookie.
brought
And
the
Ben
Nuggets.
Simmons and Donovan Mitchell were very
Right
close.
there.
Very close.
My point is saying that when I'm saying Melo is overrated, obviously Melo's a great player, but I don't think he could ever be a number 1 in a championship team. That was my point. Overrated.
Melo?
No, he
And
can't.
Dario
been. He
Dario
very much
Saric
could have been.
and Joel Embiid were very close in the Rookie of the Year, so I think Dario Saric
Very
would be
much
high.
very much so. He could have been a number 1 option. He just got
When?
fucked over
Why?
by the teams he was on.
I
Very
don't
much
think he
so.
could have. Like, I don't think there's like one team.
Just
you
imagine.
could
Look at
put
the
together.
Knicks team he had. Look at the Knicks.
I think
team
Melo
he
could have
had,
been
bro.
a
That was
Melo could have been a
so-
number 1 option.
He could have
I
been a
don't think he
number
could have been
100%.
to win a
100%.
championship. 100% win a
To win
championship.
yes,
No.
100%.
Yeah,
No.
I agree.
He was
I agree with Ramesy.
when
No.
he was on the Nuggets. He made the Western Conference Finals, and they lost to Kobe
He was
Bryant,
great.
who
He
won
was a
that
great
year.
player.
Who won that
He
year?
was a great player.
Just
but I just don't think there's a
imagine.
team.
Just imagine.
There's
Just
not a timeline
imagine.
where he can be number 1.
Just imagine you gave him
Great
an
number
All-Star that
2.
year. Imagine you gave him All
Great
Star
number
that year,
2.
bro. They win it. They win it. Simply put, they win it. They win it.
Didn't he play with Marcus Camby too? It wasn't
Oh
that
my
the team that
god. Oh my
Marcus
god.
Camby
I
was the
can't believe you
defensive player
brought
of
up
the
that name.
conversation.
Marcus
Marcus
Camby,
Camby's
bro.
not a good player.
Not
Is he
really.
not?
He's an average
He was not a
role
DPOY
player.
candidate, was he not?
He's an average.
Oh, that's a role player.
average-
DPOY candidate is a role
Okay,
player.
so Marcus Smart should have won. Marcus Smart was the reason. Is the reason why that
He's
just
a
Tatum
huge
can't be a
reason
number
why
1
the
option.
Celtics are. No, I'm not saying that. The fuck?
But
What
you
are you
are.
talking
You
about?
literally just brought
I'm
up
saying
like
that Melo didn't have a bad team. Is what I'm saying. Melo never had a bad team. Like in that
So-
Nuggets team was not bad. It was not terrible.
It
Just
wasn't
saying
a
that
great
now.
team.
You're just
wasn't.
saying it now
wasn't-
to like downplay his feat. Like, oh, he lost. So it's like, man, let me just make up this narrative saying it was a terrible team.
There's no
He
narratives,
lost.
bro. It's no
It's
narratives, bro.
over.
You
He
give him
lost.
another start
it
every
wasn't
single
that good of a team.
It was not as bad as what you were
It
saying.
was a
though.
good team, but it wasn't a championship level team. But Melo
What
made
team
it.
could he have ever been
made
on
it.
that would have been a championship team? He had chances to go be with players. I think he would have been a good number 2, like a great number 2, like
I think he could have been the
phenomenal,
number
not
one.
number
Number
one.
one for sure.
I think he
No
could have been
way.
number one.
Number
No
one
way.
for sure. He had an old ass Allen Iverson too, like 36 years old.
Iverson was still good.
He was decent.
Still good. He was good.
Imagine you gave him like a player who was like Chris Paul, bro. Chris Paul and him, bro. Melo would have been number one.
That's the thing. I don't think that Chris Paul could have really been a great number 1 either. I think a number 2 would probably been the best thing for him. I think
Those two
players play
together,
better.
they would win.
I think players play better if they have their roles reduced if they aren't at that exceptional point yet. Like Melo would have played better and be more successful if he was a number 2. Chris Paul would be more successful if he was a number 2, in my opinion, with a great player that was better than him.
You're saying okay.
I think that's the case for everyone. I think
That's what I think. I think that's why I say I don't think you can be a number 1 because like Damian Lillard, right?
I think LeBron James would play better as a number 2 if he wasn't getting the same focus. But I think he's obviously fully capable of a number 1.
No,
he would not. I'm saying that these guys would actually win championships if they were number 2s instead of being.
Yeah,
I'm
sure he would have won a champ. But I think if his teams were a little bit better, he also
let's look at the careers.
There's a world where Carmelo Anthony can be the best player on a championship team.
Let's look at the careers of some players, right? Let's compare the Celtics. The Celtics
Chauncey
team
Billups can do it. Melo can do it.
Let's compare the Celtics team
I don't know if that counts.
to this year's Celtics team, right? The one that was in the finals. To Melo's team, right? Melo and Tatum. You can say Tatum's better. That's fine. Let's go. AI.
Did Melo ever play with a player as good as Jaylen Brown?
No, he didn't.
Probably not. No.
You had J.R. Smith compared to Jaylen Brown. Robert Williams. Who's better?
But
I'm saying or Robert Williams.
Okay,
Robert
but what I'm saying is that Melo as a player, I'm not comparing him to Tatum or saying that because I don't think they're close. I think that even Tatum on that team, they're doing better. I think that Melo as a player on that Nuggets team, you don't think Tatum could do better than him?
No.
Okay.
This is peak Melo, bro. Peak Melo. No.
As a player, Melo is better as a number 2 than he is a number 1. Because the thing is about Melo.
Everyone.
No, that's not true.
You can say Kobe was a better number 2. You can say Kobe was a better
Kobe is a better number
player.
1. Shaq is a better number 2.
You think Shaq's a better number 2 than number 1?
Yes, because it's so much easier.
They won 3 rings when with Shaq being number 1.
No, you're right. But that's when Kobe peaked. When Kobe peaks, when Kobe peaks, Shaq is number 2. Because at some of those championships, Kobe was a better player and was the number 1 option than it was Shaq. There was levels to that shit. You can't just say, "Oh, when Shaq was with Kobe, they won 3 rings." No.
But they're both. They wouldn't be a number 1 and then a number 2. They would just be both number 1. So they would be like they would coexist with each other more than being number 1, number 2.
Maybe this will make it that. All right, that's what I'm saying then. I think that Melo would never be a player that could be just the sole number 1. It would need to be someone else on his level or a little bit worse than him to win a championship. And I think that's the same thing with a lot of players. But I don't think it's the same with like those elite players.
But that's what we wanted. Like, that's what we want for Melo. You give Melo Jaylen Brown, bro. They make it and win the game. They win everything. You give Jaylen Brown, get rid of J.R. Smith, give Jaylen Brown. They would win that series with Kobe.
They would not.
They would win that series with Kobe.
Kobe is still taking care of it. It's okay.
No.
Copium. It's okay. I would use.
You give Melo. You give Melo's team. You give Melo this Celtics team, bro. They win 5 years straight. Simply put.
That is crazy.
They win 5 years straight.
That is insane.
5 years straight.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing though, because I think the same thing that happens with Dame is the same thing where I think of Melo. I don't think they're bad players, but it's like I don't think Dame could win a championship as a 1 just because of the way he plays. And I think he could be a number 2, but the thing is, I don't think.
I just think his teams have been so bad.
I don't know, because everyone says he's a good player in the clutch, but realistically, he's only had clutch moments. But when it comes down to like playoff numbers,
he's had the best playoff game of all time.
1 time, but his playoff numbers overall, right? They go down in the playoffs. Check his second round stats. I'm pretty sure they're bad. It's either second or third round stats have been terrible. It's like
He's
efficiency
probably one of the
drops off
greatest
immediately.
first-round players of all time. Then
You can say that. Yeah, he really is. He really is. Like, you gotta put money aside getting you out of the first round. It's him.
I think it's been a crime what they've done to him.
No, it is. But I still don't think he
Trailblazers do not know how to give him a good team.
It's hard though to judge who's the number one or not, because like again, like with Paul Pierce, right? He wasn't a number one. And I think Melo was a way better player than Paul Pierce. Like I don't think it's close between Melo and Paul Pierce.
By far.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that if Melo just had a situation like Paul Pierce, where it's like he's not the sole number one, he's just a guy who's like 1A or 1B, he is a better player than he is where it's like he's sole number one. And that doesn't work for all players. Like Trey, for example, he's probably not going to win a championship in his career because he doesn't have that factor to make him a number one. He's bad on defense, short. He can't control him being short, right? And he's inefficient on offense at times. Same thing with Melo. Same thing with Dame. Same thing with Chris Paul.
Right now, Luka's not going to win championship right now.
No, he can because he has that factor about him. Because when he needs to hit a shot or he needs to do something, he steps it up.
Bro is 1A and 1B. But
he's
no,
1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F. It's everything. Like
okay, but
you need a team.
You do need a team to win, but I just don't think if I'm picking players to build a team all time, Melo is probably he's going to be above Pierce, but those players are not going to be any of the ones that I pick first or any.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably
but they still can win championships being the best
weaker
player.
League, like I don't know, in his league, in his time in the NBA. If we were going off the players in that NBA, I don't think I'm picking him to win a championship over any options that I have, unless like I'm forced to pick him.
Okay, we could just agree that you two, I guess, would go Tatum and then Paul Pierce. I'll pick Paul Pierce, but I'm saying right now.
Could I ask you why Paul Pierce though? Like, is it just because he won a championship? Like, if Tatum wins last year, are you picking Tatum?
Yeah, I'm saying give Tatum a couple more years, bro. He's still new. He's still new to this. He's still like, well, I think he's a superstar, but
I said he's there. Like, he's right there. That's sure. Like,
I wouldn't care if you don't think he's a superstar. If he's not a superstar, crazy.
I also agree. You're crazy if you don't think he's a superstar. But
going into this before the season started, that was my take that he isn't a superstar yet. Like, he's right there. Like, you see that door behind you, Josh? Imagine if someone knocked on that door right now and asked to come in. That's Tatum in the room of superstardom. He's just waiting to be let in. That's literally it. That's all I said.
I think right now he's already in. Like
and that's what I'm saying. Now he is.
He kicked the door open. He's like, I'm in this bitch.
Oh,
Lizette.
That is crazy ironic.
Hi, Lizette.
He heard his headphones. I'm pretty sure, aren't you? Or no?
Are you? Yeah. Okay.
Dummy. Number 2 though, Ray Allen versus Reggie Miller. Who's better all time?
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Why?
He's a better shooter.
I think Reggie Miller's
better
very
defender.
Overrated.
Why is Reggie Miller overrated?
He just was never that good.
Really?
He was a good guy.
Look at his numbers; they're just.
So him giving it to Jordan wasn't good.
No, I think that just
was like Lance Stephenson giving it to LeBron.
Lance Stephenson giving it to LeBron. The era that he was the number 2. That he was the biggest competitor to Jordan. That just kind of shows how weak the era was.
I think Reggie Miller is on a championship team is a third player.
I think he's a second. I think he'd be a good
he's
second.
third. I think Ray Allen is not only a better defender. I think the
conversation should be Reggie Miller or Chris Middleton.
That is insane.
Is it?
It is insane because Reggie Miller is better than Chris Middleton, but
I don't know.
I think so too.
Reggie Miller is better than Chris Middleton. Ray Allen is just such a hard player to rank for me because I think
Ray Allen's
never a number 1.
He's not a good number 1.
Number 3.
Yeah,
his peak was 3, so it's hard to rank.
But he was really good on the Bucks. He was really good on the Bucks, though. He was really good.
You know what? You know who else was good on the Bucks? Could have been the best player in the league.
Michael Redd?
Nope, Tim Thomas.
Oh,
know your history. Nash versus Chris Paul.
Out of your mind.
Ray Allen. See, you don't know your history, Josh. Ray Allen exactly said that Tim Thomas was going to be the best player in the league if you wanted to. That's know your history. That's why I said
I know exactly who Tim Thomas is. He's a man who wore 2 headbands at the same time. I know exactly who he is.
Exactly, it's fine.
And
he could have been the best.
That's like me saying that Thon Maker is better than Giannis because Kevin Garnett said he was even better.
Ray Allen said he was the best player. He could have been the best player if he wanted to.
Ray Allen's also been exiled by the Celtics.
No, they brought him back. They brought him back. They made up.
All right, Nash versus CP3.
CP3.
Thank you. I think it's comical. It's a discussion. Like I think.
I mean, I think it can be. I think Nash is a little overrated.
I think he's overrated.
He's overrated.
But what's overhated about him?
Only because he won 2 MVPs. He won 2 back-to-back MVPs when it should have gone. One should have got a Kobe. One should have got a Chris Paul.
Yeah, I know, but
I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
I think people make it a bigger deal than it is. Like I think Steve Nash, like, did he put up MVP numbers? No, but he put up numbers that should have had him in the conversation.
With those numbers, Halliburton should be MVP this year. Simply put.
Josh's eyes just lit up. I agree. That'll be MVP.
With those numbers, Halliburton should be dude. Like he averaged like 16 with like 11 assists, bro. That is not.
This is MVP season, and I honestly, 53% from the field, 46% from three, 90% from the line.
MVP season. Give me
Curry.
And then 19 and 12.
Kobe did so much for his team. He was more valuable because his team was so fucking garbage.
No, I don't think like
the Suns were so good then. They had Sean Marion, they had Amari Stoudemire, they had Tyson Chandler. Like that team was so good.
Though was because of Nash. Like people like the Suns became better. Like no one was right. No one thought the Suns were going to be great, and then Nash popped off, and now they were great.
But
I think he deserves the MVPs. He deserves the MVPs. But I'm just saying that I don't think that he's as good as what people say he is.
If you ever complain about the league being fixed, those are the 2 years that I think the leagues were fixed. There's no way Kobe should have won it. Kobe was like Luka right now. Luka is like Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe probably should have won, but I think based on how voting goes, like the guys in the best teams always win. I think that's kind of in line with that.
Josh, your audio is
disagree with it
right now.
It is really bad right now.
You should undo your headphones and put them back in. No, but
I thought he was just gonna take it out and put it back in.
I was like, no way. No, but I want to walk back my Melo take real quick. Well, what I was saying about the number one option thing.
Okay.
I think Melo could be a number one option based on what he's in the league.
Is it because I said Chris Paul got robbed?
No, it's just like thinking about it. It's more like I was saying in terms of like if you have all the best players of all time in the league at the same time, he's not the number one option. But based on his time in the league, you're right. He could have been a number one option if he was built with the right team. I agree.
Thank you.
But then I think you have to say that about a lot of players.
Of course.
And then that means a lot of players could have been superstars. But I think that's hard to gauge.
Well, Melo was a superstar with that team, though.
He was. He was a superstar.
The others weren't.
I think a better question, Tatum or Paul Pierce all time? Who do you want? Maybe to Josh.
We already did that.
But who do you want? Like, if you were the Knicks, you have to draft one. They're both rookies.
Tatum.
Who do you want?
Tatum.
Really?
Well, because thinking about this, right? They're rookies. Paul Pierce wasn't a very good rookie.
No, I'm saying Melo and Tatum.
Oh, Melo. You said Paul Pierce and Tatum.
No, I said Melo and Tatum. The rookies. Who do you want?
Melo or Tatum?
Like your
rookie
for your franchise.
Melo.
Forever. Okay.
I will build a really good team with him.
Tatum. It's not even a debate.
No.
Okay.
We're talking about their rookie seasons. Melo came off a championship season.
Going on. Bro, I don't think you're understanding.
If you know their careers, are you saying if you know their careers, who you're drafting?
Kind of. I'm saying like if you're picking them for the rest of their career.
I'm still going Melo. That's Melo.
Crazy talk.
Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. Oscar Robertson versus Isaiah Thomas.
Oscar Robertson.
Zeke. I'm not the biggest Isaiah Thomas fan, so I'll take Oscar Robertson.
Really?
Why? It depends on which one.
No one hates the Bad Boys Pistons were a really good team. They were a really good team.
Underrated.
Besides Kareem and Robinson, like who was also on that team?
The Bad Boys?
No, from Robinson and Kareem.
Oh,
who was also on that team?
No,
Terry Cummings.
Terry Cummings was way after.
I thought he was on that one.
Okay.
It's not Moncrief. Moncrief wasn't on those teams. It's way after.
No, you're thinking of like the 1970s or 1980s Bucks.
80s Bucks.
Who
He's
is on
thinking
that
80s
team
Bucks.
then?
They were like, I'm pretty sure they weren't that good. I could look
No,
it up
No,
now.
Oscar Robinson was still really good. He was
No, I'm
Lucius
talking
Allen,
about. I'm
maybe?
talking about.
Oh, besides that, huh?
That's Lucius Allen. I think he was around then. It's a name I know.
2K ass name, bro.
It is.
No,
1971. Let me look at that roster.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna put Oscar Robinson.
I don't know why we're debating who was
This
on
is
the
our Oscar
1970s
Robinson.
Bucks, but yeah.
Oscar Robinson by far. So let's see.
I don't know. It's just because like Isaiah Thomas did something that like, again, he wasn't supposed to win.
John
he was able
McLaughlin,
to win those years.
Lucius Allen, McCoy McLemore, sorry. Dick Cunningham, Bob
That was a good
Dandridge.
one.
There's no way we're debating this right now.
You don't think that Isaiah Thomas was Oscar to debate?
No, I'm saying there's no way we're saying, oh, who had a better supporting cast.
Definitely the Bad Boys Pistons.
No, I'm just saying that like I might take Isaiah Thomas only because he did stuff that like at his time no one had really seen enough of. Like no one had seen a lot of. Like him and Magic was it was a great rivalry. I mean, Zeke at his peak, bro. It was different, man. I think he was really good. I think I might take Zeke. Even though Oscar Robertson, I'll take Robertson actually.
You taking the OG triple-double champion?
I'm taking Robertson. I think at his peak he could have been the greatest point guard ever.
Yeah.
It's just that he had bad teams.
You got technical difficulties with Josh right now. You can Josh your cameras off.
Yep.
Josh
Okay.
is just a sucker.
Making sure. All right.
Here's the real meat and potatoes of the debate.
Okay.
Hakeem versus Shaq, all time.
Oh my god, dude! Oh, dude, I love Hakeem and I love Shaq.
Who you got,
I feel like
Josh,
I'm gonna get hate on
thing?
this. I think I'm gonna get hate for this. I'm picking Hakeem. I'm picking Hakeem.
Give me Hakeem too. I like Hakeem.
Give me
Hakeem is better
Hakeem.
than Shaq.
Give me Shaq.
Why? Do we have to go back to the Orlando Magic versus the Rockets? I don't know.
Bro, look at this. Look at the Hakeem team. They won back to back, bro. Their team was so fucking bad. The second best player was fucking Kenny the Jet Smith, bro. That was the second best player.
Impressive. It's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. Back-to-back years with Patrick Ewing's New York Knicks.
I think that they were the only team, like one of the only teams that could be in the Bulls. I think that if they played each other at peak Hakeem, they would have beaten them. The only issue is that MJ retired at that 1 year.
Yeah, because MJ was scared of the smoke. He was afraid of the smoke, and there would be no debate who's better, LeBron or Jordan. There used to be no debate. That's why I think he didn't do it. Better? I feel like LeBron knew. LeBron was like, Michael Jordan retired because he was afraid of Hakeem. I called it when I was watching the game. You know, the liar. So.
I know. I knew exactly what you're doing.
Why is Shaq better than Hakeem?
You know, I don't think there's a big difference between the two, if we're being honest.
Really?
One's a mid-range scorer. One's a mid-range scorer.
One's a more dominant post player.
And one has the most. No. Hakeem by far. Hakeem has the most blocks in history, and it has the most average blocks in history. You get out of here with that shit. Nope. Hakeem was a better defender by far.
Shaq had so many offensive fouls that weren't called. It's ridiculous. That's actually like crazy. If you watch
Hakeem is a better defender. Don't
even
add
his highlight. He's just like push people, and like it just worked. Like he's just playing football. Everyone's playing basketball. This is ridiculous.
I think another thing, there was never a debate of who the best center in the NBA was when Shaq was playing.
I think people just underrated Hakeem because he played for the Rockets.
Well, at the same time, who was competing with Shaq in the 2000s? Ben fucking Wallace. And he lost to Ben
Alonzo
Mourning. And he lost.
That wasn't close.
Alonzo Mourning is nowhere near.
Alonzo Mourning was
nowhere near Hakeem.
I think Alonzo Mourning. I don't think you understand.
He was great.
You have like half of the like. You had
Alonzo Moore is a Hall of Famer.
You had Patrick Ewing compared. Who's better, Patrick Ewing or Ben Wallace?
Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo Mourning is not better than Patrick Ewing. First of all,
at his peak, yes, he was.
No.
Why? Debate it. Go crazy.
Alonzo Mourning is a better defender. and I think he's a pretty comparable scorer.
Much
better
Ewing
defender.
Everything else. Patrick Ewing gets everything else.
Much better.
Patrick Ewing's a way better scorer. Like, not even close. Better rebounder.
I disagree.
He led his team to the finals twice. Alonzo Mourning
also. I mean, he 2-time defensive player of the year.
That's it. That's all he's got for him.
Also,
okay, if we're talking about defensive player of the year, who's better, Rudy Gobert or Patrick Ewing?
Let's make it nasty.
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing. But
thank you.
But
okay,
Rudy
so
Gobert
who's better?
Rudy Gobert never averaged 24 points a game.
Okay, but listen, who's better, Alonzo Mourning or Rudy Gobert?
Alonzo Mourning.
I'm gonna disagree with you there, bud.
What?
I disagree. I think Rudy Gobert's better.
As a player?
Rudy Gobert's better. As a player.
You're an interesting guy.
What?
He's better defensively. He's way better defensively than Alonzo Mourning. Give me Rudy Gobert all day.
You can say Rudy Gobert's 100 million times better defensively, but the difference is that Rudy Gobert can't score. Alonzo Mourning was a really.
You're absolutely right.
Not really good. Right. He was good at scoring.
He can't score. But his defense is that much better, right? We're talking about defense, right? Rudy Gobert's defense is that much better.
Oh, you're just saying this to win an argument. You're not saying it because you believe
thank
it.
You.
I think Alonzo Mourning's defense is better.
Okay, and I think Rudy Gobert's defense is better.
And I think their offense is incomparable.
Okay, so that's the same with Patrick Ewing and Alonzo Mourning.
No, because Alonzo Mourning
think about this.
24 points
Alonzo
a game.
Mourning was scoring on people like Hakeem and
Patrick Ewing.
No.
Yeah, he was. He was. What are you talking about?
Well, okay, my bad. I meant to say Patrick Ewing was scoring on people like Hakeem, and Patrick Ewing was scoring people like Alonzo Mourning. Because remember, they're in the same conference. Who do you think eliminated the Hornets? Who do you think eliminated the Hornets?
Probably not the Knicks.
The Knicks did, 100%.
They weren't very good.
What about
Knicks?
when Alonzo?
The finals
when
Knicks?
Alonzo was on the Heat. Alonzo on the Heat was tough.
Yeah,
Alonzo. He was also second MVP voting.
Yeah, I think was his peak on the Heat, or you think it was more on the Hornets? I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I can't really.
It was on the Heat, and then he had his kidney cancer.
No, rip him. Is he alive?
He's alive.
He has the biggest what if stories.
He just missed a lot of time, and it was never the same.
Yeah, shout out Alonzo.
He probably has one of the what if stories. But he's not better. He's not better than. Yeah. And by the way, when Alonzo Mourning won those Defensive Player of the Years, he won it after Ewing went to the Raptors. He was basically done. I just want to say that.
Ewing never went to the Raptors.
It was Hakeem went to the Raptors.
Oh, Hakeem went to the Raptors. Okay, Ewing went on a
Ewing on the
team.
Magic?
Was he on the Magic? I know he went to a different team.
I think Ewing went to the Magic at one point. Or
Ewing did go to the Magic.
So basically, Ewing was out of the league when Alonzo Mourning won this.
I'm good.
Just want to say that.
I'm tough.
I disagree.
He went to the Magic.
Well,
he went to OKC.
I think Ewing actually might have been in the finals.
No, he was in OKC when he won.
Defensive Player of the Year '99. I think that sounds like the year the Rockets and Knicks went to the finals.
Okay, yeah, fine. We can say that. You know who didn't went to the finals? Alonzo Mourning. And then 2000, he went to OKC.
But who battled kidney cancer and came back?
Actually, Alonzo Mourning has a ring, so.
Oh yeah, he has a let's say a fraudulent ring.
So you don't want to talk no more.
He has a fraudulent ring.
I don't know.
And who remind me who was on that team again? And who was the backup center on that team again?
Alonzo Mourning.
Okay, and who was the starting center? The
Shaq.
Guy who carried him, who was better than him, Shaq.
Yes, which I said. It was the whole argument. It was that Shaq was better.
Okay, that's fine.
I said it was very close.
You say Shaq and Alonzo Mourning's better? You think Alonzo Mourning's better than Shaq, or it's very close?
No, I think Shaq is better.
Okay, you just said it was close though.
And I said Alonzo Mourning was better than Patrick Ewing.
And that's not true at all, dude. I think that's a wild take.
I think that Alonzo Mourning and Ewing are closer than what you guys are saying.
Yeah, but Patrick Ewing is better. Simply put.
Oh,
Who's in the NBA 75? Who's in the NBA 75?
Aren't they both? They're not
I don't
both.
know.
Alonzo Mourning
Alonzo?
isn't, but I think if Alonzo Mourning didn't
Okay.
get his kidney disease, I think he's
Okay, so you're
right
talking about
there.
you're talking about a what if story. We don't count what if stories.
I'm
We
saying
don't
at their
count what if
peak.
stories.
At their peak.
We don't count what if stories, bud. Get back here. Grant
Who do you
Hill
guys
could have
rather
been better
want?
than Michael
Who-
Jordan. We're not
Who,
talking about
who would you rather want? Peak
But
Dwight,
Grant Hill never peaked like that.
Peak Dwight, or Peak Ewing?
peak Dwight.
Peak Dwight.
Really? So
Yeah.
Peak Ewing or Peak Dwight or Peak Morning?
Peak Dwight.
Peak Dwight.
Wow, you guys are really high on Dwight. I like
Yeah.
Dwight too.
Dwight was
I
that
think-
guy. He was that guy.
He's pretty
You
good
know-
player. Pretty good player.
What I get really mad about, this is about basketball, so but in 2K, whenever you have Dwight on the Magic, he never has like the drip he had, like the armband in the
Yeah.
player build. Never has
Mhm.
that. It gets me so angry. He has like the same hair as he does now. It gets me pissed off. So it's not him, bro. It's the imposter. But if you guys want to know my answer, I'd have Hakeem over Shaq because Hakeem's game translates better into any era. Shaq's doesn't,
Mhm.
in my opinion. It's easier to contain Shaq than it is.
Well, I mean,
for
Gobert is
Hakeem.
similar.
I mean,
play style to
going
Shaq.
back to my point, I think you'd rather have Kevin Porter on Shaq than Jalen Green. I think those pounds make a big difference. Those pounds make a big difference.
No, I don't want either of them. Get about. Please go home, both of you. No, but even then, Hakeem versus Shaq, they played each other in the finals. Hakeem won. You could say Shaq wasn't on his peak yet, so it's fine. But Hakeem, there was like a completely different level to their games. Hakeem has had some like, I think
It was
Hakeem is
bully
the biggest.
ball.
I guess so, but I think Hakeem has had
It
the
really was
most
bully ball.
insane career ever. I think that
Even Shaq admitted
anyone,
it.
if anyone in NBA history has had bad luck on teams, I think it's Hakeem. I think that he was so good, he could easily be in the top 3 or 4 if he just had good teams. Because of how
I agree.
great he was. He has single
Hakeem-
dominant games where it's like, I went because someone had brought this debate up to me before, Shaq versus Hakeem. So I went back to watch their games. Hakeem was a lot better than I thought he was. He wasn't in my top 10. Now he is. Like, I was completely wrong.
Sorry, guys. I have to take a piss, but continue.
It's fine. I was completely wrong.
Ever the professional.
Yeah. I didn't know Hakeem was him like that. So I think Hakeem's like jumped from like the 10th position to like my 6th or 5th position easily. I don't know if you have it like that, but that's how good he was to me.
I understand. I think when you get into those like 10, like those like 15 through 3 guys, there's a lot of guys you can just kind of like mix and match. I think
Sorry, go ahead.
I think on any given day I could have Hakeem at 6, I could have him at 12. Like it's one of those things like
Yeah.
it's dependent on how you're feeling that day. Like there's not
For
a whole lot of a difference between those guys. They were just that good.
Do you think it's a big difference between Hakeem and Kareem?
Yes, kinda.
Well, what is the percentages where it's like you'd think someone's crazy if they said that?
I would disagree with them, but I would understand where they're coming from.
Pause.
It's like Ramese and I with Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
I understand
No,
what he's saying. I don't agree with him, but I fully understand the argument.
So you think that Hakeem actually has top 3 potential or top 5 potential?
No, I think that's more people not
Oh, you guys did it for
respecting
too long.
Kareem.
Oh, okay. Rosie, who do you think is better, and who do you think? Like, I guess the argument. Would you hear us the whole time or no?
No,
No,
I
you
just
can't.
came back.
No, we heard you. We heard you.
Don't worry.
You did?
No, you're fine. Okay,
A lot of
Hakeem?
splashes.
Hakeem or Kareem?
Who?
Hakeem or Kareem?
He's not familiar with those guys.
I go Kareem.
Is it close or no?
Close, very close.
How close is very close?
If Kareem wasn't the best scorer of all time, it would be Hakeem.
So just because he has that title,
He has that title. He has the most
So
points.
so in a year when LeBron takes over, is Hakeem better?
Yeah.
What do you mean? No, well, I mean, like he was more offensively dominant than Hakeem was, and they're
See-
they're pretty close in defense as well too. So
This might get nasty. I think Hakeem is a better offensive player than Kareem.
I disagree.
Kareem just abused very little people. Well, not very lesser people, you could say. Because overall versatility, you could say Kareem has a skyhook, and that's the most unstoppable
did
shot.
too.
Sure. I don't think LeBron played bad people ever.
Oh,
When
bad
did he
people?
play- I'm saying like the
Kareem had to go
competition-
against Bill Russell and Wilt.
Okay, no,
Not
but-
really.
yeah.
Not really.
No,
They did
no.
go against
I
each other.
guess, but like
They went against
No.
each other.
You're not
And
saying
then-
like it
and
was
then
peak or
Kareem-
anything like that. It's not even
Kareem had
close.
to go against like Kevin McHale.
Kareem. I don't know.
Bill-
I really don't think. I don't know if they like really
didn't
played.
play-
Yeah, Kareem and Bill Russell did not play in the
Yeah,
same
so-
time.
It's
Yeah,
not
they
close.
did.
They did
No,
not.
they didn't. I'm looking at it right now.
Kareem played in like what? Not Kareem. Bill Russell played 50s, 60s, right? Not 50s, but 60s, right? Kareem gets into the NBA around like the 70 something, right?
No.
What
Will
is
Chamberlain
Kareem
played.
got it-
Will Chamberlain played
Kareem
till
got it in
72.
19.
19
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
19
One of you guys say the numbers.
So Kareem Will left in 72.
Okay.
And Bill Russell left in 68. Okay, so he probably didn't play against Bill Russell, but he for sure played against Will Chamberlain.
But either way, it's still Will at the end of his career. It's not really.
And then
like a-
also he had to go against the Celtics team,
Yep.
right?
And when was that?
The 80s.
What
when he
time
was
in his
very
career?
young. When he was
He
against when he was on the Lakers.
Bro, so you can't name two other centers he played against in those
No, I can, for
1970s.
Bill Walton.
You can name. Bill Walton was such a fucking bad
Mark
choice.
Eaton. Mark Eaton.
No. Mark Eaton doesn't
Mark
count.
Eaton.
Mark Eaton's like an 80s guy.
That's what he peaked. Just look
Yeah,
up
but
70
he also
centers.
played
Just
against.
look up for everybody 70
Alright.
centers or centers that Kareem
Yeah,
played
I'm going to
against.
say Artis Gilmore,
There you
I
Mel
love
go.
Artis
Daniels,
Artis Gilmore. Oh,
Dave
let's start-
Cowens.
Oh, that's a bad one. Dave
He's an
Cowens is
MVP. MVP?
Players voted for
Willis
players-
Reed.
Okay, Willis Reed's a good one.
Willis Reed, yeah.
His name,
Bro,
I was
I'm
named you
surprised I didn't
four
get that.
70 centers. Come on now.
Okay,
It's like off the
what I'm
top of
saying
my
to
head,
you
I
is
can't
you
really think.
compare them to their
Hmm?
eras, right? Who
Nate
had harder
Thurmond?
competition?
Nate-
Thurmond.
Bill Walton was drafted in 1974.
But Bill Walton had like a freak injury and was never the same. He had injuries
Yeah,
even
so-
going to the NBA.
Will Chamberlain, Wes
His
Unseld,
MVP is more fraudulent
Wes
than Steve
Unseld,
Nash's.
Bob McAdoo,
Just
No.
saying.
Bob
No, it's
Lanier.
not. Wait, Dave Cowens' MVP is more fraudulent. You're right.
No,
Willis
no. Dave
Reed.
Cowens actually.
Stop. This is Celtics bias at its finest.
No,
Dave
Bill
Cowens'
Walton was also
MVP
Celtic.
Yeah, but Bill Walton's MVP was more understandable than it was
No.
for the other guy, Dave Cowens. Yes, Dave Cowens' MVP was so bullshit. It was just because fucking players voted. That was it. If players are voting for fucking now,
If you watch the games, you would know.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
was watching them back then.
You're right.
Well,
you're right.
I swore
You're
that
just
Dave
one of those
Cowens
guys
was going to
with
win.
advanced stats.
I swore Dave Cowens
Dave
was going to win
Cowens
that
shines
MVP that
two
year.
more shoes than anyone else in the league. We gotta give him the MVP, guys. He's a good guy. He gives up money to charity, guys. You gotta vote for him.
One of the goats. One of the goats.
No, but either way, I think Hakeem is more a versatile scorer than Kareem. Like at one point, like in any era, you might be able to game plan around Kareem because Kareem didn't have a jump shot. Hakeem had a good mid-range
Hakeem-
shot.
He had that
He
hook
did-
shot.
He was a great finisher.
You give Kareem that hook shot, he's making it anywhere on the field. Simply put.
Not anywhere.
Remember-
He's not getting a 3-point shot.
There was no 3-pointer line back then, so you never know.
No, I do know. He's not doing that, dog.
There was no 3-pointer back then.
No,
so you
but
never
either
know.
way, I think that maybe I'm just too high on Hakeem, but Hakeem was a very
I
very
love
elite
Hakeem.
player.
I
I think it's
Hakeem.
I think he's a lot closer to Kareem in terms of just gameplay, like games, not accolades, just games. Than we really know. I think that if Hakeem had a good career with good teammates and stuff like that, like how Kareem got that with Magic, I think we look at Hakeem a lot differently than we do now.
I 100% agree with that.
I think he would be looked at as a top 5 player minimum. It's not close, but This is one that I'm firmly believing on, and I don't think it's close. Dirk or Garnett, who's better all time? We've went over this before, but I need to get this on video.
This is tough.
Dirk.
I don't think
This
it's
is
tough.
tough.
It's Garnett.
is.
Like, it's
Dirk.
Garnett. It just
Dirk.
clears. Like
Dirk.
I
Garnett
think
was
in the
elite.
I think in the
Dirk
modern
didn't have a
era,
bailout ring.
Garnett would be better. But I think Dirk.
Garnett was better even back then. Like it's not.
No. Dirk
Garnett was
also won MVP.
I just
They
don't.
have
Doesn't KG have an MVP? KG has an MVP, doesn't he?
Yeah, so does Dirk.
Okay, so
They have very similar accolades, but you also have to realize how the way they played.
Yeah,
he went against a better team. He went against a better team. So Dirk went against a better
Dirk's
team.
was miles and leaps and bounds, fucking AAA comparing it brands type shit than Garnett's team. Garnett's team was ass.
Not when they won the championship.
Garnett's team was ass.
Not when they won the
on the
championship.
Timberwolves. Pete Garnett
Okay,
is when he
that's
was
fine.
Listen. Pete Garnett was on the Wolves. Okay. If Pete Garnett had a comparable team like Dirk's team, you could make a real good argument he could at least make the finals.
Okay, so I got a question for you. Who's a better player, Westbrook or Curry?
Curry, but I don't think
Okay,
that
so Westbrook won MVP
Curry.
with a way worse team. He won MVP with a way worse team.
That's not what I'm
using
saying.
your point. I'm using your point against you,
my
right?
point
because
is that the way they played basketball, what was better? The way they played basketball, what was better?
Okay,
Westbrook
you're obviously
never,
right, but Curry did it better.
I'm not saying that. Okay, but I'm not saying that Kevin Garnett, just because he won MVP, is better than Dirk. I never said that, or because he had a worse team. I'm saying that
you say he had a worse team when
Kevin
he won
Garnett.
MVP.
No, I'm saying if Kevin Garnett was in his peak and he has a comparable team, he can make the finals. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Dirk did that.
Like he won a championship too, and Dirk did that against Braun, which was impressive, really impressive. But to say that one is completely better than the other is insane to me. When Garnett won a championship, as did
no
a
one's saying
player,
they're completely better. I'm saying Dirk is better.
One's a better defender, and one's a better defender by a mile, like more than a mile.
I think Dirk weighs more.
Shut up.
I'm joking. He does.
Yeah, one has more muscle.
The one was notoriously known to be a playoff choker before that ring actually happened, which was Dirk. Dirk was a playoff choker before that ring happened.
Okay,
everyone called him that.
That's fair.
Kevin Garnett was not a playoff choker. He just had terrible teams. Wally Zerbiak was on his team. That is insane. You're not giving me Kevin Garnett.
Too.
Yeah, he choked the coach out. Like, that's this guy we're trusting on our team. I'd rather have Kevin Porter Jr.
Dirk may have been a playoff choker, but he wasn't a coach choker. That's all I know.
That's fair. But Garnett and Dirk
is better. Okay, so we're talking about what ifs, right? What if he had a better team? Doesn't matter. Dirk did all that when it gets a better team.
And had a better team too, though. Like he had a team built around him.
His team wasn't even good. His team wasn't even good.
His team was good. It was not like
Dirk's
it was not. It was not close to the Miami team, but it was good.
Honestly, it was barely a playoff team.
It wasn't even a playoff team at all.
These guys were the honestly, too. Looking back at it, it's like it would be like a 6 seed now.
What is Kevin Garnett's team then? Not a playoff team.
No, they're a playoff team.
No, they're not.
The Celtics.
Timberwolves seemed.
They were not good. They were awful.
They're both not playoff teams, but Dirk's team was also really bad too, and they actually won the championship.
Dirk's
he didn't have to go.
Third and fourth best player are all better. Like everyone other than it goes. Garnett was better.
Okay.
Dirk is worse. Everyone else on the rosters, Dirk's team was better. Like even down
fine, but Dirk put the effort into making this team good. Like he's the one that's the reason why the team actually won. It was because of Dirk. Kevin Garnett gave up and went. Kevin Garnett gave up.
What is giving up?
Right,
just leaving.
Leaving. He gave up on the Timberwolves.
If he doesn't win the championship, in your eyes, he's not probably a top 5 power forward.
No, so that's not okay. But I'm saying
no, he's definitely a top 5 power forward. That's crazy.
If
he doesn't win a ring, he's still a top 5 power forward.
He wouldn't be number 2. He wouldn't be considered number 2 if he didn't win. In my opinion.
Actually, no. I still think it would be number 2.
I don't think he's considered number 2 now.
I think who was number 2?
Dirk.
Giannis.
Well, I guess
you can argue.
Giannis, honestly, Giannis, yeah, so Giannis and then Dirk.
I'm more willing to say that Giannis is better than Garnett than I am to say that Dirk is better than Garnett. Like I think it's like insane how overrated Dirk is. He's great. He's obviously top 5 power forwards, but I think it's a drop off where it's like Garnett was a way better defender. Garnett was an elite offensive player. Had a really good mid-range shot at one point in his career. Not in the beginning of his career, but at the end of his career, had an elite mid-range shot. He couldn't shoot threes, and that was literally the only thing Dirk had over him. And one
you're making good points. You're making good points.
So Garnett's better, right?
No.
Honestly, depends on the day for me. Depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Today, who was better?
Right now, you're making good points. I'm say Garnett.
John. Sorry.
It is good points, but I feel like what Dirk achieved was a lot better than what Kevin Garnett did to win the ring. And in my opinion, that makes Dirk better.
Okay, accolade merchant. Now, is it wild? This is a kind of like towards the end of the show. A couple of is it wild questions. Is it wild to say that Jokic is a top 10 center already all time?
I think he's top 5.
Whoa.
Top 5? So there's Shaq, Hakeem, Kareem, who else? Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. That's 5. Who are you taking off that list? Who are you taking off that list?
May he rest in peace. But Bill Russell, I'm sorry.
Russell?
No.
The Celtic man himself.
You can take Wilt off the list. Just don't take Bill Russell. That's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Take Wilt off the list instead. This is
okay,
bad.
You think Jokic is better than Dwight Howard?
Yes.
Peak Howard.
Peak
There's two
Howard.
MVPs. 2 MVPs.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to clip that later.
Peak
What
Howard.
are you talking about?
Peak Howard.
Please
Okay.
don't Dwight Howard.
Peak Howard. Okay, that's fine.
Just Peak Howard. Come on, it's an argument at least. Come on.
Peak Howard is the argument. Peak Howard is a way better defender, like miles ahead defender.
Nikola Jokic is the best offensive center of all time.
Jokic is not miles ahead in offense, right? He is ahead in offense.
No, he's the best offensive center of all time.
Was it just because of his playmaking though?
In his efficiency, he's so efficient.
Yeah.
I think Howard was also efficient. He was also efficient
in
scoring
too.
too.
For top 3, but I think it's really hard to break the Shaq, Hakeem, and Kareem realm.
No, dude, you're not breaking the OGs, bro. You're not breaking them. You're not breaking them, bro. I'm sorry, bro. This is ridiculous. 11-time champion. 11-time champion.
Just offensive though. Just offensive. Like,
offensively, yeah.
He's the best center. Defensively, he has to be awesome because he's 284 pounds. So he's
talking about the 100-point scorer. We're talking about the 100-point scorer. One of the guys who scores consecutively like 50 points. A guy who also has like 15, 30 consecutive games in a row. You're talking about this guy. You're saying he's better in offense.
I think Wilt's overrated. I think you can make the argument. You're telling me, well, I'm compared to the eras, I would say, because you can't compare Bill Russell and Jokic, because like in terms of basketball players, Bill Russell's getting smoked, and Wilt's getting smoked. But like in their eras, it's like you got to compare him to that, right? Because you can't just say like, oh, Jokic placed in the 60s, because obviously he's going to dominate. But I don't know. I think it's an argument for top 5 center. No, top 5 offensive center.
Armand, can I do my little thing I told you about earlier?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay, so so this is how I'm gonna go, right? I'm gonna give you guys 5 players, right? So you got to rank them 1 through 5, but you have to rank them as I give you the player.
Gotcha.
All right, I seen this on TikTok, and I thought it was
Is this an all-time player?
So I wanted to do right to give Armand a little bit of a challenge. I wanted to do all-time Clippers.
Okay.
All-time Clippers. Okay.
Can you name 5 Clippers all time?
Of course I can.
Me?
I'm about to do it right now.
I'm going to say it's going to be tough. A lot of forgettable names in there.
Okay, let's go. All right. I'm going to start off with a hot one, right? Paul George. Where are you ranking them 1 through 5?
Probably 3.
3. Okay. All right. We're going to go with another one. I'm going to do 2 current players, and then the rest I'm doing all time. Kawhi Leonard.
2.
Okay. Blake Griffin.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Oh, where'd you have Paul George and Kawhi? Are you doing it too or no?
I can do it. No, I'm not doing it because I'm ready. Oh yeah, Josh. Sorry.
Oh, I would have Paul George 1, Kawhi 2, Blake Griffin 4.
Okay, Chris Paul
1.
I'd put him at 3.
All right, and Bob McAdoo.
Oh, 5. That's fine. I think my list is fine.
Okay, I think that's very bad. I think that was very bad.
My list bad?
No, yours is okay, But I feel
That's
like
great.
Josh is really bad.
Paul George at 1 was crazy. Or 2.
Paul George
was
is
it
the
1 or 2
greatest.
out
Paul
thought
He's
you
the
were gonna be like
best Clipper of my lifetime.
Stop it. That was ridiculous.
Oh my
He's awesome.
He is awesome. I love him. What is his nickname then? What is his
Probably
secret
one of the
nickname?
most inefficient
What is his
Clippers of all
nickname?
time.
The secret one.
Pandemic P.
This
No.
is the same guy. This is the
His name
same
is
guy who go
Batman.
5 for 21 one game and then go like 13 for 13 another. This is the
You know who
same
wouldn't
guy
do
you
that?
put at number
Bob
1.
McAdoo. That's all I'm
Yes.
saying. Bob McAdoo wouldn't
Bob
do that.
McAdoo.
Bob
you have any
McAdoo was
more?
probably number 1 realistically. Was he not an
He is
MVP?
number 1.
He was.
No, was
Pretty
he
sure he
MVP?
was. Pretty sure it was an MVP. I
Yeah,
bet like
No.
$10 on it.
he was an
Nothing more.
MVP. Who was an MVP? Cowens was robbed that year.
No, I watched Bob McAdoo highlights, bro. He was taking.
Why have you
weird-
watched Bob McAdoo?
Because
Alright,
I was
are
like,
you-
I wanted to
That's
be a
crazy.
student of the game. Student of the game.
Are you guys down for one more? One more team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
am.
do Celtics. We're gonna do
All right.
Celtics. All right.
I'm in it too, right? I can do it too, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I'm gonna give you Isaiah Thomas.
5. I love him.
Yeah,
My favorite
5.
center of all time. Maybe 5.
Okay. Jaylen Brown.
4.
Well, 4.
Okay. Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin. Why are you
One.
ranking Blake
No.
Griffin?
3.
Okay. All right. Larry Bird.
1.
1.
Okay. And number 2, Tatum.
No.
2.
Number 2, yeah.
Wait, I don't think you can count Blake Griffin. Has he suited up yet? Has he played a game?
He's played games.
He's played
I think
games.
he's played almost every game.
Not well.
I think.
No. He's been active for every game. He hasn't played.
This is to get you guys tricky because you like. I said any Celtic player, so that could be Blake Griffin, Luke Cornett.
For some reason, I thought you
guys
did the same thing with the Clippers. Like it
you
was
guys
all
have-
time. So,
You guys have to think about it, right? You don't just put like players. That it gets you to think about it, right? Like who's he gonna pick?
No, because why?
I think the
What?
idea.
You just gave me
I-
4. You just gave me 4 like guys who like are like Celtics Hall of Famers, and then Blake Griffin, who's
Blake
never
Griffin.
gonna
Well,
play
I
more than
think
12 minutes a game.
I know it gets you to think like who.
No,
all
it
right,
doesn't
as
get you to
I-
think. What?
any
Best
any
Celtics
player from the
highlights, man.
Celtics,
all I'm saying.
any player you can think of on the Celtics.
Ramsey, I can do that with. All right, we're gonna do all time Knicks right now. Go. You ready?
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
1. No, I'm no, two.
No, and I don't want to go 1 because he went 2. I'm going 1. Fucking
Mari
Dan
Stoudemire.
4.
3.
4.
3.
4.
John Starks.
3.
4.
What is wrong with you? 3. Willis Reed.
1.
Oh. 2.
1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 2.
And Patrick Ewing.
5,
5, I guess he's 5.
I guess you can make a solid argument for John Starks over Patrick Ewing for the time.
Yeah, it really gets you thinking. I could have said whatever I wanted. No
Well,
matter what
you have
said.
to think about where you're putting these guys at. You got to think about where you're putting these
He was
guys at.
supposed to already have the names written down and then say it to you. That was the whole
Yes, but
point.
Reference is not the most brilliant mind, so he's just doing this on the fly.
Bro, you put Isaiah Thomas 5. You put Isaiah Thomas 5, bro. That's
Who
all
was he better
you.
though on that list?
He
Other than
was
Blake Griffin?
4. Realistically, he was
Jaylen
4.
Brown. He's better than Jaylen Brown.
I don't know.
He's better than Jaylen Brown. This guy had 30 points a game.
I don't know, man.
He was
If you
like
watch them
runner up for
play.
MVP. Huh?
If you watch them play and you look at who weighs more, it's not
Blake Griffin by far weighs more, and I think he's the better player than all of them.
and that's why he was at 3.
All right, do you guys have any more of those thingy mobbers you were doing or no?
I feel like we do one. We could do one more. I got it. Okay.
Okay,
All right. I'm just gonna give you random players. All right.
this is about to be insane.
Wilt
It's gonna be
Chamberlain.
like Jordan. That's the last one.
3.
Five.
Chamberlain. 5. Okay. Kareem.
2.
Yeah, I'll do 2 too.
Hakeem.
4.
3.
Shaq.
4.
1.
Bob McAdoo.
Fuck, was my
5.
number 1 spot open or was my 5 spot open? It was my 1 spot that was still open.
Oh, this Clippers fan, man. These Clippers fans.
Realistically, if you ever watched Bob McAdoo play, he was shooting these fadeaway shots.
If you've seen the highlights,
If you've seen it, bro, he's tough.
I've seen the play in game. IRL. I was there courtside.
IRL.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't James Michael McAdoo or?
It definitely was. All right, is it wild to say KD is a top 15 player ever?
No,
Or isn't?
It's
No,
very
isn't.
No,
Isn't.
it's not wild. He is. He's
honestly. If it wasn't for Cam Thomas, he'd be top 5. No, he's top 15. He's top 15.
He's top 15 for sure.
Can you name the 15 that are like that? Can you name what spot
Off
he
the
is
top
in?
of my head, no.
No,
No,
fucking
not
get
really,
it
not
prepared,
really.
guys. You're on a
He's
podcast.
somewhere. He's
Well,
somewhere
I
between.
did,
He's somewhere
You're
between
asking
8 and
us this
13.
question. You're asking us this question. We're not gonna have it spot on. This is a
You
spot
should
on
have your
question.
top 15 list at all times on your phone. It's ridiculous you don't have it. Could Luka have a GOAT career?
Yes, for sure. He's having one right now. He has the third most consecutive 30-point games in all time, past Michael Jordan. That's pretty
Cherry
historical.
picked that stat. Like, you definitely saw that shit on like Twitter or like
historical.
some
He
picture
also
report.
he's also like a triple double guy as well. He's also a triple double guy. He's like
yes
he's like
and
Dirk.
no.
He's
Yes,
like
he
Dirk
can
but
have it,
accelerated.
not with what's going on right now.
Well, he's like Dirk but accelerated. Like
But-
Dirk wasn't doing this. Dirk wasn't doing this from rookie season to now. Like, come on now.
The point is, do you think that you could see it like in 10 years? You can be like, I can
For
see someone
sure.
saying Luka's a GOAT.
I could probably see him having 2 MVPs in 10 seasons.
That
I think
sounds like the GOAT.
No,
that was
like a GOAT record. Like a GOAT
Those
record.
Dave Jones numbers, bro.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in 10 years, like, how old is he? Like 22, 23, 20, 23? 10 years, he's still 33. He could probably do like another 2 MVP seasons right after that too.
I think it's
Kobe
possible.
has 2 MVPs, and he's considered a GOAT in some
He's
people's
one,
eyes.
but like no one really thinks that.
Nah, some people
Is-
do.
Is Shea or is Shy on the path of superstardom?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
that?
No, I think he has a way to go. He's a little bit.
Playing on a really bad team.
Oh, so he's at the door now? Is he at the door? You would say
He's playing on a really
No,
bad
he's
team.
in the hallway.
hallway.
He's playing on a really bad team, right? We got to see what he could do on a team that's actually good. But I feel like this team's on their way. Their team is on their way to be good. So
we did see him with the Clippers. He was pretty
that was
good.
his rookie season.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good.
He was good, but that was also his rookie season. You know, like obviously,
yeah, so theoretically, he's only gotten better.
We gotta see what he's gonna do as like a number 1 option with a good team. Let's just.
I still think his step back game,
out.
the fact that he improved that much was insane. I don't know if you guys ever seen the statistics on it, but like he was ranked one of the worst players for creating his own shot off step backs, and this season is one of the best players in the league at doing that. That is an insane like jump.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's crazy to me.
he's actually staying healthy this time. I remember this time around last season he was not healthy, so it's good. I like seeing him healthy. This is what I thought Shea was going to be last year.
I've never heard you say this, so I'm not going to confirm this. This is insane.
Okay, that's fine. I thought he was going to be like this last
Who
year.
are you telling this to? Do you have any proof, or are you just keeping these thoughts?
He was just thinking about it. He was just thinking about it.
Thinking about it. Of course.
You're just keeping them in the chamber. You know, you didn't want to let anyone know his genius.
Lying awake at night, just thinking about it.
You're just
Yeah, I do that a lot actually. I'm one of those guys that advocate for that.
All right, last one.
Advocate for thinking about Shea.
Yes. Yes.
Last one. This might not be as bad. Can Giannis be a top 5 player ever?
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
How far is he? What?
He's getting there. He could probably be the greatest player of all time. I see it.
He will be a top 5 player by the time he
I
retires.
feel like he would be a greatest player of all time. The way he's going, bro. He's 27. He's already got 2 rings on his palette. LeBron won his first ring at 27. LeBron won his first ring at 27. He's already got. Oh well, I got 2 rings. You get it? Because he's gonna win this year.
No, the Clippers
It's
going to win.
confirmed.
So I don't know where you're getting this from.
Yeah, with what roster? Luke Kennard?
Yeah, Luke Kennard's better than fucking anyone in the Knicks. Damn, like
No, Jalen Brunson.
take that contract and shove it up your ass, bro. You can keep that. That is insane.
Well, Giannis has potential to be the greatest of all time. Simply,
I don't think he can be greatest of all time.
I think he can.
I think he can.
He
To
can
be better
for
than
sure.
Jordan and Braun.
He for sure.
He can do it. I believe him.
I believe in him
What?
too.
Like what? Like how?
He's just
What
that
do you mean
dominant.
how? He's that
Like,
dominant
what
of a
does he have
player.
to
He's
do
a,
to be?
he's
that-
a better.
that- that-
He's already a better defender than both of them for sure.
Not better than Braun or Jordan. Actually, no, he's not better than either of them.
Better than both.
What?
Defenders? Better.
No.
He's better than both of them.
Giannis is a liability on the perimeter. Yes or no?
No, he's not.
No, he's
Yes,
not.
He's
is.
also a power forward.
He gets beaten off the perimeter a lot, though. In a perimeter-centric game, he does get beaten off the perimeter. That's why
Come
Drew
Come on, what are
Holiday
you
is there.
saying? What
Does
you
Giannis not
say?
get beat off the perimeter? Are you saying he doesn't?
He's not guarding guys in the perimeter that much.
He gets switched onto the perimeter a lot. When in the playoffs, he gets switched on the perimeter. That was a huge key
And
factor. Why they got
he's
why they
also
got
one of the best. Like, he's probably the best help defender in the NBA.
He's also
Yeah,
a
that's
runner-up
fine.
every
I'm saying-
single season behind
No,
Rudy Gobert.
you're right. He is one of the greatest
By
defenders of all
far.
time. But
He's
again,
always in the
LeBron was a
defensive
better
player of the
defender
year.
than he was.
No.
I
Because
disagree.
LeBron
No,
was a good
disagree.
paint defender. was a
LeBron
great
is a
perimeter
good
defender.
defender. He's a good defender, but he's not elite defender. Not
Yes,
like
he was.
Not like Giannis.
He
not
was.
like Giannis. No.
You can say the Jordan versus Giannis thing. You can say like one's a better defender. I think it's fine, but I think
For
Braun was
sure,
a better
for sure.
defender.
No.
But I think Braun was a better defender. That is at least an argument.
No.
Miami Heat LeBron that 1 year. I'd say that 1 year only.
1 year.
1 year. He was that much better. Like it was
No.
really good.
1 year.
Advanced stats will say
Armand.
it. Yeah, I'm saying that 1
Career
year.
wise. We're talking about career wise. Their whole
Yeah,
throughout their
career
whole
wise.
career.
In career wise, like
give me Giannis on
career-wise,
defense.
right? Okay, but
Giannis.
career wise, even offensively, they're not even close. They don't sniff each other.
Scoring. Giannis is a very consistent scorer. He's getting 30
Not
points
better than
each
Jordan
season.
or Braun at all.
Getting 30 points each season. Well, yeah, you're right, but like he's still getting 30
not
points
close.
each season. He's getting there. He's getting there. He's for sure getting there. He
Yes.
probably averages like 26 points a season right now.
But he's not better than Braun, to say the least. Like scoring, he's not better.
No, scoring
Passing,
not.
he's not better. Playmaking, he's not better.
The
Ball
resume is gonna
handling,
add
he's
up.
not better.
The resume is gonna add up.
I don't like going off resumes. I think that's like that could be a factor where you can rank someone, but like if you just only rank people off resumes, there's no
I'm
point
not
in
gonna
watching them.
hire. I'm not gonna hire someone, right? I'm not gonna hire someone like
Hiring
if I see
someone-
I
actually,
see someone's
go ahead.
resume. I see someone's resume. I'm gonna hire them based off their resume. I'm gonna hire them based off what I seen on their resume, not what someone
Not
else
what you
says
see
about
what they can actually do in the job.
No,
So if you're working at-
that's what you
you're
base
working
it
at-
off.
Oh,
So I see
based
both of
off
them
what you
play.
can
I
see.
see both of them. I seen both of them play, but one has the better resume than the other. I'm gonna pick the guy with the better
Do you
resume.
think without resumes, Giannis is already in the top 5?
What do you mean?
No, not in the top.
Giannis in the top 5.
No,
This
I
is
didn't
your-
say that.
Not you, Josh.
Oh,
No, but
without resume on talent wise, yeah, he is.
not talent, just basketball. Talent is what to you? What they can be?
No,
what
what
they
he
can't
is.
be.
What he
What
is.
he is right now. He's a top 5 player ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right, just end the pod. Just get it over with. I'm not gonna argue this today. This is
I
not,
don't think he's top 5 right now, but he's definitely
This is
like
crazy.
top 20.
he's not a better Jordan, Braun, Kareem.
He's top 20 right now.
Real,
He's 27.
realistically, if I was saying like one game and I just had to pick between the two of them, I'd probably take Giannis over Jordan.
What? Why?
Why
Right now?
not?
Because Michael Jeffrey Jordan is that good. What do you mean? Why?
Because he's not as good as Giannis.
He wasn't a 2-time MVP by the age he was like 23.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Jordan dominated everyone in his competition because he was that much better than anyone in the league. He was that much better than. He was
No,
torching people.
I think it was because he was playing against Reggie Miller.
He torched everybody. You couldn't put anyone on him.
Giannis
He
was a
torched them.
2-time MVP when he was 25.
Good
He's
for
still-
him.
He's still MVP conversation every single year. Defensive player
he's 25,
every
so 2
single
years.
year.
So 3 years.
So no, since he
he's
was
been
24.
MVP.
Since he was 24.
Okay, Jordan
He's
was
been
probably
MVP
having that same
conversation every
talk.
single year.
Okay, Jordan probably has the
And
same
defensive player every single year. He's already
Jordan
got one
also
on his
has a
belt.
DPOY.
No, he's at 2 on his belt, right? Dude,
Jordan
two
has a
DPO
DPOY. LeBron would have had a DPOY. if it
Okay, he
wasn't
has a
for Marcus
DPOY,
Paul
but who has better defenders now? By
What?
far now. Right now, they have better defenders right now. Who was in
Sure.
conversation with
That's just the evolution of basketball. Then you can't just say it's like
Okay,
you
but,
compare them
like-
to their eras. Like that's just like the dumb thing you bring up. You compare people to eras, not because who's
Okay,
better.
That's
That's like
fine,
me
but, like,
saying because Bill Russell isn't a top 100 player if you don't compare him to eras. Just individual skill. No, he's
okay,
not.
let's look at their accolades, right? I'm gonna you look up Michael Jordan's, right? And I'll look up
Yeah, Michael
I'm
Jordan
not
has a better
debating-
resume.
I'm not
no
debating
for
the accolades.
for defensive trophies.
No, I'm pretty sure Jordan only has one. I'm not
Okay.
debating Defensive Player of the Year trophies. I'm just saying that as a player, Jordan was better. Is it really close?
Right now.
No, it just right now it isn't
Like
close.
at his age, 27 to Michael Jordan 27. Who was better?
Jordan was better. He was
Jordan
better.
didn't even win a ring. Like, when did he win a
He
ring?
was still a better player. You're telling me you wouldn't want Jordan at 27?
2-time MVP, Giannis, and then 2-time.
I'm not gonna go off accolades.
Giannis.
Like, sure. Like,
Okay.
if you want to say accolades is the set thing for you, then
Giannis
sure.
is dominant. He's dominant. And he was able to win.
He's
He was
not
able to
better
make the
than Jordan.
playoffs. He was able to make the players. He was actually able to win without it. Like, he was able to win with Chris Middleton.
He needed these.
Who's
players
better,
to
Chris
win.
Middleton? Who's better, Chris Middleton or Pippen?
Pippen.
You know, honestly, it's gonna be Pippen, right? But
Okay.
Giannis had way more than just Pippen. Those teams weren't. His team isn't bad. It was structured for him. It was a very well built team.
Of course.
The only thing I'd
It
say
was a
that,
built
that
team.
that Jordan had better than him was coaches, and the coaching was like an elite difference. Because Mike Budenholzer is a terrible coach.
Okay.
What? That's crazy talk.
He's a good coach this year.
Dennis
But in the
Rodman.
finals,
Dennis
he's terrible.
Rodman or
He's an
Brook Lopez?
all time. He's one of the best coaches.
Leave.
Rodman?
End it. I'm not doing this.
Who
He's
who
not
made
all-time.
Jeff Teague an All Star?
Shut
Who
up.
made Kyle Korver an All
Who
Star?
the fuck cares about any of them?
Exactly. They were All Stars.
Yeah. Oh, I can switch this around.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
All right, you guys want to end it off here?
Yes. Next week we can dive into how you guys think Giannis is better than Jordan.
Yeah.
Until
I
then-
didn't say. I didn't say. I'm saying
we
right
could
now.
also
Right
dive
now.
in how you think a
it's Jordan.
two-time Coach of the Year is a
I'm not
terrible
saying-
coach
I'm not saying
who's coming off a championship.
Giannis is
Compared
number
to
one.
Phil
player.
Jackson?
Hold on. I'm not
Who's a
saying
better
that.
coach, Phil Jackson or Mike Budenholzer?
Phil.
Mike Budenholzer.
For his era, Phil was
You're
better.
so dumb. It's
Phil-
delusional.
But I do want to say. I didn't say
Mike
Michael Jordan
Budenholzer
was.
would never do as bad a job as Phil Jackson did with the Knicks.
That's
Okay,
true.
but Mike Budenholzer also didn't make any playoff adjustments for so many series. That's why they lost against the Celtics. If they actually made proper adjustments, they probably win. He kept guys in that were getting torched by the Celtics. You, as a fan of the Celtics, can understand that he didn't have any good adjustments against you guys. He was outcoached. He had the better players.
No, he didn't have the
Giannis
better
was-
players.
Giannis was the best
He
player
had
in
the
that series.
best player, and the Celtics
But
probably
by far, though,
had the next three best players.
I think Drew Holiday is better than Jaylen Brown for what he offers to a championship.
No, he's not.
I think he is. Defensively, it's like
He's
Drew
not very
Holiday's
good.
not even close. What? Drew Holiday's not a good defender?
No, he's a good defender, but I think
No, he's a great
offensively
defender. Don't
offensively
say-
he's limited.
Sure, but his defense is that good. Like, it's that great. Like, he's a better defender than Marcus Smart.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's a better defender than Marcus Smart.
No.
And what do him and Marcus Smart
Guarding
have in
position?
common? Is it effort or is it pounds?
It's effort.
It's not
Effort.
effort. It's it's not effort.
Marcus Smart.
It is
Marcus Smart
effort.
puts 100 times more effort than Drew Holiday.
He doesn't, though.
He does.
It really doesn't. It's like
Marcus
the same amount
Smart
of
is
effort.
better defender.
He's not.
He is better.
Statistics would
Well,
disagree
one's
with you.
got DP